It's your favorite Compas, and we are back with another edition of Compas on the Beat. On today's episode, we will look back one last time at WrestleMania 40 because your compas were there. We got some really good interviews. Make sure you guys go check that out on the YouTubes. We also will get into the NFL news from the past week. We're trying to have Dan and Daygo obviously join us. New job, new tough schedule. So hopefully he makes it here for 10 good minutes with Dan. Vic, the producer, will also join us for some rapid fire, plus our usual segments of Burial of the Week and Una Mas. But that reminds me, Gilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yes, Fernando. I think people might have forgotten that we talk NFL. Originally the program was all about NFL, but we've been talking WrestleMania,
What?
some boxing,
What?
some MMA.
What?
So we got to catch
Oh, that's
up.
what the month of April. They knew the month of April
I
was
know,
going to
I
be
know,
like this.
I know. And shout out to the day ones for supporting the network, for expanding our interests. Is that the proper, or hobbies, whatever you want to call it? I don't know. Coverage. There you go. 100% coverage here for the sports world. We talk everything on Compas on the Beat. But on this episode, we're going to catch up in the last week of the NFL. So the engagement question of the week. Stephon Diggs, have you heard? No longer playing for Josh Allen, no longer in cold Buffalo, no more Applebee's, was it Chili's, whatever, doesn't matter. In Buffalo, he is now in Houston, H-Town with CJ Stroud. And actually for H-Town, you could do this for Stephon Diggs. So the engagement question of the week. Are the Texans
No, you're you want to get in trouble, don't you?
Are the Texans Super Bowl contenders with Stephon Diggs? Or are they not Super Bowl contenders?
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Let us know in the comments, because I know there's a lot of Charger fans watching in AFC. Are the Texans going to be beating the Kansas City Chiefs? We don't know. But H-Town, stand up for now.
We'll see.
And I'm kind of also wearing a KC shirt, so barbecue. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's true. All right, let's go now to Dan and Daygo and see what he's got cooking up for us.
It's your boy Dan and Daygo. How we doing, everybody? Anyway, let me get my serious face on, because let me tell you something. I got some breaking news. Are you ready for this? Like Triple H says, no, I said, are you ready? Well, the Compas are writers during the day and video analysis by night. Well, they're putting it together now for the Compas on the Beat newsletter. Yes, the Compas will be sharing news and analysis to your inbox every Thursday. They'll send you direct links to their latest interviews and keep you updated with everything going on the network. You already know what it is. One-stop shop for you. For now, we'll drop the knowledge on the Chargers, what NFL, what little football, what in WWE. Gilberto has got you covered with boxing, MMA, and NFL. And of course, heck, we'll even have a section for my music playlist of the month, some country music in there, lots of it. You already know. Little Luke Combs, what? Morgan Wallen, what? Coulter Wall, what? Vic, the producer, will share his movie recommendations and even some inside baseball. Baseball isn't my favorite. A little too slow for me. No violence. But the Compas will cover it all with a loaded newsletter every week. How can you subscribe, you ask? How? Let me tell you, it is simple. Visit compasonthebeat.com. That is, one more time, compasonthebeat.com. There you'll see a shiny gold box where you can enter your email and then just hit the subscribe button. That's it. Boom. It's over. That's all you got to do. You're set to get the Compas on the Beat newsletter, and you want to jump in early because I hear the Compas on the Beat blog is coming in soon. Maybe your boy Dan and Daygo will get in there, start typing a little things. I see that stooge, that scumbag, Gilberto, do that. So if he can do it, anybody can do it. I might get in there. We'll see. Get some hot takes rolling. All right. Remember what to do. Go to compasonthebeat.com to subscribe to our newsletter. Let's get back to the program.
What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for jumping on with us. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? A whole lot going on the program, like I mentioned, for the engagement question of the week. I like saying that, but from WrestleMania to UFC 300 week, oh man, it feels kind of cool, Fernando. Like, we're going to cover all these events here, and there goes the cat, just like yesterday too. At the same time, shout out to Peanut. That's his name.
So is it officially official about Thursday, or are we allowed to say it? Or what do
Oh
you think?
yeah. So, well, how about this? I will be in Las Vegas for a quick trip, for UFC 300 Media Day on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, our guy who big time me last time, Adam Hill of the Las Vegas Review Journal, is going to help us break down UFC 300 on Thursday. We're going to go live for that. So, Compas on the beat, stay tuned for that. And also Saturday, the grand event, the fight night. Fernando, you will be there in Las Vegas with myself, and Adam will be there too.
Yeah, no, that'll be awesome. There's rumors that supposedly Connor might show up, Michael Chandler. You never know. And then, hey, now that TKO and WWE and
Hey.
WWE and TKO, I mean, you never know what wrestlers will show up.
The
So
final boss better be there.
that'll be interesting. Yeah, he said he's taking some time off, so we'll talk about that. You're honestly playing with fire. If that's what you want to spend your 10 good minutes with Dan talking about, like
Hey,
you're playing with fire because I had to
I
hear
did
it all.
watch the Raw after Mania or Mania after
It was a little weird.
it was, but I just want to ask you about the Cody Rhodes Rock thing. That's about it.
Yeah,
But you
No,
give me your analysis,
Yeah, we'll get
analysis later on.
we'll definitely get into that. But they're man, what they're doing right now. I mean, it's crazy. Speaking of wrestling, though, what the funk?
What the funk?
What the Funko?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I thought I was waiting. Okay, so what the Funko?
I'm
With you?
excited about this. Yes.
Talk about it.
So I guess I'm an influencer now, right? When people give you stuff to promote, you're an influencer. So I have some kind of influence here. Maybe not on Jorge or Jesse, or day ones watching here, but I got a Funko Pop. So I don't know because I'm Mexican. They gave me Eddie Guerrero. I don't know. Not just kidding. He is one of my favorite wrestlers. It goes. I think The Rock and Eddie Guerrero. I can't decide between the two, but there are new Funko. So I think it's Pops, right? And then Funko's a brand. I'm gonna get it right.
That looks like that like Dominic Mysterio low key.
I was gonna
Look,
say, but darker hair because Dominic's a
yeah,
little more like on the brown side. I don't know, or maybe a little
yeah.
shader. But yes, I did request because I think they have NWO, they have Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash and
Oh my
uh
god.
Scott Hall or Razor Ramon.
I
So
thought they gave you a Gilberto Funko Pop.
yeah, if I actually, Caroline told me that if I just grow the mullet, that's pretty much me. So that'll be awesome because I do have
That
that
was you
shirt.
during COVID.
That was me, but I feel like the mustache, that little part there in the middle, I don't know, I have like a thicker one. But yeah, it could be me, or any other Mexican, whatever.
Maybe
But
when we get to 5,000 subscribers, I will share the picture of Gilbert during COVID. I have a good one. That
yeah,
I
it's
took
the
one of the
hair and the mustache. But I'm pretty excited about that. WWE Pop from Funko. Shout out to them for giving me that Eddie Guerrero pop. But if you want to get your own, here's where I promote. Check out the link in the description for WWE Pop. And we saw that massive one. Remember the Undertaker one they had at WWE
Oh
World at the
yeah.
Convention Center in Philadelphia? That was a massive Taker pop.
Next year, wherever I hope it's in Vegas. Um we should do an entrance thing. That'd be fun. Like, did you see the way Joe Morley and them and like the way they like mashed it up together and
Oh, the
everything?
video?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, damn, that's actually really like those guys. Like, we need to take editing classes from those guys because they're really freaking.
I was
good.
gonna say, like, how I always get on you, like you're always like joking around, but then you write your story. I'm like, how do you do that? Those guys are always joking around, but they're cranking out edited
Yeah.
videos. I'm like, how the hell? But yeah, they did it.
Yeah, that it's funny. That's actually a funny story. Like, there's times where Gilbert's like over here, like, crank. He's working his and he's like, I turned and look at you, and you're joking around and stuff. But then, like 5 minutes later on Twitter, like your story's already popping up. I'm like, bro, I'm a machine during like
When I'm in the zone. I need to be in my bubble. Leave me alone. But some people function the other way. I don't know.
Yeah,
Funko Pop.
I think I'm kind of like in the Adam Hill kind of school of like the way we do things. Like you're
Adam's in
joking
the
around.
middle somewhere. He also finds time to mess around, but also I seen him.
Yeah.
When you see him locked in, you don't mess with Adam. But he's
Well,
has a
no,
good
I don't
balance.
like no. When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. The thing is, I feel like during the game, like right around the third or fourth quarter, in the first and second quarter, I start adding things. But then, like right around the fourth quarter, that's when I really boom, 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 boom. And then I'm like, because especially last year, like you kind of knew what the direction of each Chargers game was going. So it's like,
Shot.
well, yeah. I'm like, shit, fire. I know where this is going. I mean, obviously now there ain't gonna be no cheating. Like it's gonna be, it probably will be a lot different, but you basically knew where that was gonna go. Your buddy Dr. Florio I guess came out and said Mike Florio came out and said that this is going to be a lot different. That charging will no longer be a
People are already
thing.
jumping on
Wow.
the Harbaugh bandwagon and change the
even
culture right
even
away.
with even with no receivers. I mean, obviously they have receivers, but no like immediate threat of the receivers and everything else. Like, oh wow, interesting. Speaking of that, did you see the well, we'll get into it when I guess Dan comes, but I wanted to show you guys a video. Hopefully I don't get flagged for that video, but whatever. I wanted to show you guys a quick video when we do that, but uh Gilberto with a mullet might just reach legendary
Hey,
status with Dan.
I think I
I
could do
think
it. I could be like Dominic Mysterio and get grow my own mullet too. I could do it.
By the way, last night he was pulling the whole like to the crowd and like flexing and stuff. Adhir, I have not spoken to Haley. I'll ask her. What was your question? Send me your question again, and I will. I
I
will.
thought you already answered that. It was about
Oh, did I?
the Women in Media podcast, and
Yeah.
is it coming back, the Playmakers series? And
Oh
you
yeah, she
said,
said no, right?
I thought no, it was more like
No.
wait and see, wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see. Yeah. Theo, it was wait and see. You might have left that day when I
But
answered.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong on the question.
Yeah, no. I think that's because he said from Haley. Well, he said something else, but he said from Haley. So
Athir, in the comments, let me know who the Chargers are going to take a week away from pick number 5. Or no, we're 2 weeks. How many weeks away
2
from the
weeks.
draft?
We're 2 weeks away.
We're getting to that point where like, just give me the draft ready. I'm so tired of the
Well,
coverage.
and then you look at your our calendar, and it's like, oh, Vegas.
I know. I keep trying to pop in like to do more research on the draft, and I'm like, I don't care. I'll come back on a week.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like we have all this other stuff to do. So, and then like, oh, by the way, on my plane ride back from Philly, I was Athir, Gilbert just answered it. I remember she said that it's a wait and see. So we'll wait and see how all that goes. But yeah, I did actually talk to her. AMS
Hey,
let's answer that right now.
yes.
Gilbert,
Yeah.
go I mean, me plain and simple, it leaves you with a huge hole. I mean, everybody played well last year on the defensive line, but that's because the attention's on Aaron Donald. When a guy like him leaves, a legendary player like that, it's going to be hard to fill that gap. And now I don't think the Rams need to sweat it like, oh my God, we need to draft a defensive lineman with the 19th or whatever pick they have. No, it's just about making sure that other guys can step up and do what Jorge, you're wild. Usually when a player like that leaves, it's gonna be tough to fill that void. But I mean, you have to have confidence in the Rams, I guess, because their coaching staff is good. They know what they're doing, and it's just that the only thing is, Gilbert, they have a new defensive coordinator, so that's gonna be
that's the
now
tough
that
part.
Raheem went. Did you see that video, by the way, that the Falcons did of like Raheem?
Yeah, Raheem Morris. That was pretty cool. And I'm not
I'm telling
surprised.
you, teams are a little by little kind of changing what they're doing. Like Jeff and I and Dan were talking about it on What's Up Bolts a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, and we said if All In is really going to be all in, why not do it with Jim Harbaugh now? Like, who cares if people get to see like what it's like after a loss, this, that. Like his ego can take that shit.
Yeah.
Like, but okay, if you want to release it after the season, whatever. But I think now, if you really want to go all in, I think now is the time with a coach that his ego won't be hurt on none of that stuff. So I think that would be interesting. But go ahead with Aaron Donald.
Yeah. And AMS, we'll give you a full breakdown on Thursday. You know, we can't do this Wednesday, but we're gonna do House of Horns on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. We're gonna look at the draft needs, but on offense, we'll have 6 p.m. with Adam, and then 7:30 House of Horns. You know, I'm just in show business, bro. I got to do all this these videos. But
shut the hell up.
AM, real quick, I'll give you analysis. Look what the Rams are doing already. Tre'Davious White signed officially. They added Darius Williams, the former cornerback of the Rams, went to Jaguars. Now he's back with the Rams. So they can't rely on Aaron Donald to create the push and have the secondary kind of, all right, you know, they're going to handle the pressure over there. We'll be fine. No, the secondary needs to be, you know, on their P's and Q's and make sure everything is okay, because you might not get pressure without Aaron Donald. So that attacks you more in the secondary. You know, they got the safety Cam Curl from the Commander. So more talent in the secondary will definitely go a long way to adjusting without Aaron Donald, because I'm sure those guys, those DBs for the last 10 years have been having a luxury because Aaron Donald always provides a push and creates pressure.
People are so stupid and take themselves so seriously on Twitter. It is the funniest thing in the
So
world.
you just go on Twitter while I'm giving analysis, and you just kind
No,
of
no, no, no.
Wow.
I was looking for something because I needed to grab something, and I was looking through, and I saw some clown tweet, and I'm like, he's just been going on a rant for the last like 3 or 4 hours about how he's self-made and all that.
Okay.
Those people are annoying. Um, let's talk a little. Yeah, let's. Oh no, we'll get to this in a second, I guess. Stephon Diggs is now a Houston Texan. According to one of the beat reporters from the Buffalo Bills, they said that week one after, and I heard this from Dr. Florio and scattered to right. Shit, I can't.
Banana
Even say.
left, right.
Yeah, whatever. Dan can handle that in a minute. According to them, well, they heard it on somebody else's podcast. I can't remember who the beat reporter is right now, but that on his podcast, he said that week one after the Manhattan MILF Hunter and the Jets ended up beating the
Tim
Bills.
Graham of the Athletic.
Oh, there you go, Tim Graham. Oh yeah, Tim Graham. Duh. That Josh Allen was in his locker and he was feeling down, and that people were consoling him, and that all of a sudden Stephon Diggs came over there. They don't know what was said, but that he got up and said it's one effing game, like, and that they started kind of going a little bit back and forth, and then he just left or whatever. Stephon Diggs just walked away. This was brewing. I mean, last year, what happened, Gilbert, when I think it was right before it was in a mini camp that he was excused.
No, it was the first day of training camp where you're supposed to be there. Actually, you're right. Mini camp.
Mini camp.
You're right. That's mandatory, and he didn't show up the first day. Like, oh, he'll be here, and right. That's
no, and they said that he was disappeared, that they didn't know what had happened, and then it came out that he was actually excused and was told to go home. So it's like it happened with the Vikings, it happened with the Bills. I don't know if I want this guy, Gilbert, with my young quarterback, with my, not just the quarterback, though, those young receivers. They have young, talented receivers, Nick Collins and Tank Dell. You have a lot of talent there, and now bringing him in, I don't know. And maybe for the first season, he'll be quiet and everything. But the thing is, remember, he was angry because he wasn't getting passes thrown here. There's a lot of mouths to feed. And let me remind you, Joe Mixon is now on this team. Stephon Diggs is now on this team. I don't know. I don't know what you think, but that's a lot. Nico, yeah, thank you. Nico, Nick, whatever. He could change it to Nick. But what, like, I just think there's now a lot of personality in that locker room, and I don't know if I mean, I'm sure D'Amico Ryans is a good coach and he might be able to handle it, but it might be a little bit too much, especially because at times, like, when you start losing, I mean, and the Bills got on their hot streak once Stephon Diggs' production went down, once they started spreading the ball around and doing everything. So that's kind of and remember, against the Chiefs in that game, he was the one that dropped that pass. And he turns to Josh Allen and he goes, "You almost had it on." Like, get the hell out of here. Like, you can put, I don't know, but go ahead. My bad.
All right. Well, first, I just realized that I've been wanting to talk about this because I need to take my victory lap because so many Bills fans attacked me when I wrote for SI.com saying after they lost to the Chiefs, Stephon Diggs probably played his last game with the Buffalo Bills. Just like, it's obvious, read the signs. And I get Buffalo Bill fans are just drinking the Kool-Aid. And when Sean McDermott says and Brandon Beane says, "Hey, nothing to see here," when Josh Allen says nothing to see here, Stephon Diggs hasn't spoken in 3-4 months with the media. Stephon Diggs hasn't had a 100-yard receiving game in 3-4 months. Like, Stephon Diggs is pointing the finger. Like, obviously there's something going on. Stephon Diggs did not even show up to the mandatory minicamp. And then when the offense evolved to more run heavy and less Stephon Diggs, more Khalil Shakur and more Gabe Davis, I guess I'm not a coach like Dan and Daygo, but I could read the signs. Stephon Diggs was on the way out. Oh, and they have cap space issues. They cut a bunch of players. Hey, but get in my DMs, attack me, send me emails saying that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know football. Yeah, maybe I don't know football, but I know how to read the freaking obvious signs. The Stephon Diggs was on the way out. And the second they blew that game in KC, or I guess in Buffalo, you were at home. I'm trying to remember more things. You had that game, you blew it. When any time that Josh Allen wanted to get Stephon Diggs involved, the scheme just fell apart. He threw YOLO passes, interceptions, misfired. The scheme was better with James Cook. The scheme was better with Khalil Shakur. The scheme was better with Josh Allen, not worrying about Stephon Diggs. See you later, Bills fans. Go eat it.
You hold on though. We need a 2-on-5 tag team match. You and Dan and Daygo versus Bills fans versus Giants fans came after you also
Really?
after. Remember when you said that Daniel Jones was gonna get paid $40 million?
Yeah. That was more like general NFL
okay,
fans who
NFL
think I'm
fans.
stupid. Like, oh, why would he get 40 million? But yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
I think they're gonna say me and Dan versus Ravens fans and Bills fans.
Well, no, I was gonna say Ravens fans, Bills fans, Dolphins fans, and Lions fans because they came after Dan last season as well. So, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the writing was on the wall. Gilbert, we were there in the locker room after they beat the Chargers, and he's like, "I'm not talking."
talking.
So, and I mean,
who's
you
talking?
saw,
Josh Allen's hanging out with people, just chatting with media, like just doing his job.
yeah, he
they won the game
for a bit. So
they
yeah,
won the game.
Yeah, I don't know, but he said, "My money's on Gilberto and Dan. Doesn't matter who they're fighting once they fusion." Oh, do you know what that is?
What is fusion? No, what is that?
Hold on, I'll get it. Well, talk about something.
Oh,
else.
is it Dragon Ball Z or something?
Oh yes, damn. Yeah. I was gonna, yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna. I'm shoot. Yeah, go
well,
ahead.
You say it in español, then I know because I watch it on Telemundo. Fusión. Ha.
Oh my god.
But we can even give them home field advantage. Well, me and Dan will fly to Buffalo and go to an Applebee's and we'll throw it down in the backyard. I mean, in the parking lot.
That would actually. I would actually
bring the tables. Bring the tables.
Yeah, like, and then you have Devon Dudley being the not Devon. What's his name? Not Devon. Bubba Ray Dudley. Yeah, you have Bubba Ray Dudley doing it, and that's what it's all about. But yeah. I definitely am interested to see what direction this is all going to go
for the Bills or the Texans. So I didn't give you Texas analysis. I want to kind of see what, just to take my victory lap with the Buffalo Bills. But go ahead.
There's Gilbert and Daniel.
Didn't David and Joko do that as a celebration, or somebody with the Browns?
Look at that. Yeah, no, David and Njoku did. I think he has a Dragon Ball Z tattoo also.
I think so. I
remember.
Yeah,
I saw.
I remember Jorge. I just had a brain fart. I'm not like a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I loved growing up. That was that Power Rangers, like Pokemon, like that was all my shit. Like I was sad when the creator of Dragon Ball Z died because I think he was working on another project. So yeah, that was a very sad day.
It was cool to see how how much Latinos like from around the world love Dragon Ball Z.
I didn't know how deep
you see like the ratings. It's South America too.
I know, but like I didn't know how deep. Like I knew. Like I remember kids growing up, like they were Dragon Ball Z fans, but like deep in Mexico, I did not know it was
I
that.
thought it was just me watching because I didn't have cable, so I watched them.
No, me just because. Well, my cousin was the one that showed it to me. He's like, "Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z?" I'm like, "No." I was like 8. He's like, "You should watch it," and I started watching, and I was just mesmerized by it. Like I'd be in school, like not paying attention during class, and like drawing like Dragon Ball Z figures and stuff like that. Like that was stick figure Dragon Ball Z characters because I was a shit drawer.
Every time I went to the Callejones in LA or in Mexico, they had Dragon Ball Z stuff like backpacks and shirts and sweaters and things like that.
The point is that you and Dan would morph into one unstoppable.
I got it, Jorge.
The power to take over the universe and all it entails.
Thank you for the definition of
DBZ was the thing. Jorge, do you think your boy's gonna make it? What do you think? Do you think Dan makes it, or because we're still on standby, but hopefully he makes it. All right, let's go real quick over to the Eagles. Nah, bro, I've never liked talking about myself. I've never liked drawing myself. I would have been, you know who I would have been? I would have been the fat version of Trunks and Goten when they became Gotenks, and he was the fat version. That's me, bro. That's me. So yeah, I wouldn't draw myself.
As long as you're not drawing what Jonah Hill and Superbad was drawing as a kid, I just leave it at real.
By the way, my Daniel senses tell me yes. No, not Nappa. No, you remember Goten and Trunks mess up the fusion, and they kind of slip fingers, and then it turns into a fat Gotenks. That would essentially be me. Look it up, fat Gotenks. That's basically me. but growing up. But Gilbert, interestingly enough, right here it says Eagles were aware of Lane Johnson's participation in
Oh,
WrestleMania. I was like, wait, what about Jason Kelsey? And I'm like, oh shit. Like,
just retire. Who cares?
By the way, though, SI came out today and said the WWE would like to do more with Jason Kelsey in the future, possibly involving something in the ring as well. So that'd be
Why not? He'd be
I
good
think
on the
that's where
microphone too.
Jason, I think part of it, that's where Jason kind of should be. I think he'd be really good.
Well,
Obviously,
remember
like
his Super Bowl parade speech? Man, that was
exactly,
totally WWE promo.
exactly. So I think Jason would actually fit. And who knows, maybe when Travis retires, he does it too. So yeah, exactly. There you go. Fat goat tanks. That's what I was saying.
That sounds like something else, but yeah.
What did you're a dumbass. What did you think of Lane Johnson's participation? Because you could tell if anybody did anything, it was like Jason.
Yeah,
Jason was the
yeah.
one that kind of did a little bit more. Because remember, the Patriots were not aware when Rob Gronkowski. Because remember, that Super Bowl, Gronk did not play in it because he had a messed up shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And he goes into WWE, and I think he like shoulder checked Jinder Mahal, I think.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't it like the Andre the Giant like opening WrestleMania match?
But they didn't know about it. The Patriots were pissed off about it. So
George Kittle did it recently too.
Yeah. But I mean, 49ers, I'm sure are well.
Yeah,
aware.
but it was more like a clothesline and like call it a day.
No, and if you talk to some of these guys, like Trick Williams, the guy that Carmelo Hayes was going to fight or fought on Saturday and lost to, he's a former NFL player. Not NFL. He made it through
tried out, right? Yeah,
and everything. Yeah, but like there's guys that go from the football. I mean, obviously we don't have to mention The Rock, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, like they all, John Cena from football to so. It's a recipe that works. We just haven't seen really an athlete after such a prestigious NFL career leave and then go to the WWE. So I think that would be interesting.
And I know it's not the same thing, but speaking of crossover, MMA legend Ken Shamrock, we saw him at the Hard Rock. I was like, oh crap, that's Ken Shamrock, legendary MMA fighter who started it all for UFC, which is kind of fitting for UFC 300. Obviously, he was in the wrestling. He was in WWE for a little bit, so it was cool to see Ken Shamrock walking around and I was kind of shy. You're like, take a picture with him. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So I spotted him.
Gilbert was, I didn't even see it. And you know what's funny? I think he kind of was like really surprised when I mentioned it. I went to school with his son, and then he's like, "Oh yeah," and then I'm like, "Yeah, Connor."
In San Diego, really?
Yeah. He went to school with me, and then I was like, "Yeah, Connor," and then he goes, "Oh crap, okay, yeah." he does know my
freaking hair from the wind that day, but yeah, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah,
he was part of UFC 1, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, no, Ken was so I went to his
was
school.
It the most dangerous man in the world? That is kind of like his thing at WWE, right?
Yeah. I went to school with his son Connor when we were in high school. We were cool. Like we would always talk wrestling and stuff, and he'd be one of those like, that shit's fake, dude. I'm like, I know, but I still enjoy watching it.
What this dad was part of. What the hell? I don't know why you're saying that, but yeah.
Look at that.
Hey, that'd be cool. We'd be in the microphone for sure. He'll take off his shirt like Jason Kelsey did at WrestleMania. The next WrestleMania in LA, he needs to do it.
He would be like, well, I mean, obviously, like he should shoulder check somebody, like just run up and just bang, and then grab the mic and be like, "Who's got it better than me?" and then just go crazy. But what did you make of Lane Johnson? I mean, I think it's fun when because it's kind of intertwined with professional wrestling,
especially in the whole city, like Philadelphia. The star players, NFL players are there, and I'm sure the Eagles are a little worried about Lane Johnson. He's their stud right tackle for the last 10 years, but I think it was fine. He's a big dude; he can handle himself. And then obviously Jason Kelsey's retired, so who cares? So I loved it because I know Eagle fans, or not Eagle fans, but Philly fans got a lot of crap day one for not being as loud, even though it's a little unfair, like you mentioned, Fernando, being outdoors. Hey, but it seems one of their own, they're out there, two fan favorites, and who won the Super Bowl in 2017. I thought that was pretty cool. And it was a nice touch. Like WWE got a lot of things right. Getting the home football team there. Those Eagle jerseys with WrestleMania kind of on it, and at WWE World were pretty cool. But that was pretty awesome.
Missed one thing.
What was
Sylvester Stallone? If Sylvester,
kind of like just kicking it off or something on the microphone.
Yeah,
you know where they could have done it when they brought Snoop. I like Snoop Dogg, but 2 years in a row to announce.
I know. I thought it should have been somebody else.
Like in LA, I get it, but you need somebody from Philly.
Yeah.
Well, I know Sylvester Stallone's not from Philadelphia, but the movie, come on.
Well, they had Meek Mill there, but
They did, yeah.
no Diddy.
Like,
But
okay. I was gonna wait. I'm like, well, why would Diddy? I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Kyle Duggar and Derek Brown's pockets are a little that's Samantha Irvin. Yeah, I talked about her yesterday. I thought
Oh, yeah.
she's incredible. She is really top notch. She's one of the best, probably. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Lillian Garcia, but she's up there with Lillian
Yeah.
Garcia, to say the least.
Whoever had the idea to just tell her, hey, just be yourself. If you're
Yeah.
emotional, if you need to like kind of like not have the professional voice going, go ahead and do it. Like that's a brilliant idea.
Did you see what she broke down when
yeah, because I remember
Cody
the Cody Rhodes title. I remember like, why is her voice cracking? I'm like, she's really emotional about it. And then I saw the video. I'm like, yeah, she really was.
By the way, last night on Raw, her boyfriend, husband, I can't remember what it is. He was about to go off the top rope, Ricochet, and he was going to do a 450 splash.
There are a couple. I had no idea.
Hold on. He looks at her and goes, "I'm so sorry," and he like jumps on the
I did see that.
and he like does the 450 splash and then hits Adam Schefter. Dallas, a sleeper team in QB draft market with Dak entering last year of contract.
Is that time of year where your smoke screens? Oh, weirdo time. Dan already has a quarterback for them. And who?
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, that's right. So wait for next year. There you go.
But my bad. Kyle Duggar and Derek Brown's pockets have just gotten a little bit fatter, Gilbert. Both of them signing 4-year extensions. Big money. Which one, or what did you think of each of them?
With Derek Brown, like I think I did my quick research the other day. Like he's now the 8th or 9th defensive tackle in the past year to make over $90 million. So when Aaron Donald started the trend, or 10 according to Victor, well, I don't know if we were counting Aaron Donald because he's out now, but or could be 10. But Aaron Donald started a trend of defensive tackles getting paid, and now they're all getting paid here. And they're all paying at $90 million. I was Dexter Loring at $90 million. He got $96 million. Derek Brown, just a Matabuke got like 98. Chris Jones, obviously, he got a bunch of fake money on there, but it's definitely over $100 million. So that tells you a lot about the position. And then I started looking at how many first rounders from the 2020 NFL draft have gotten paid already. And so far, it's only been Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Derek Brown. So shout out to Derek Brown for being the 3rd first round pick from the 2020 NFL draft. Tua has not been paid. Well, Jordan Love kind of got paid, but it was like a weird 1-year extension. But I guess I'll throw him in there. But 405. But no Justin Jefferson, no CeeDee Lamb. They're going to break the bank soon.
Jorge, you're wild, bro. I can't show that, homie, but I think that, well, who gives a shit?
Oh, there goes Jorge.
I but I realize why they called
Go to the next one. Just go to the next one.
Real quick, Gilbert, do you think the Chiefs stay in Kansas City?
Oh, that is
well. Let me get into that. Jackson County voters in Missouri did not approve the extension of sales tax to fund renovations at Arrowhead Stadium. Where have I heard that one before? Now the Chiefs will consider all their options when their lease is up in 2030. I think I saw something from Dr. Florio where he said that that Dallas is considering bringing him.
Let's lose the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, and then let Jerry Jones say, "Okay, come bring him to Dallas." Get the hell out of here! What kind of report is that? Jerry Jones would never allow that, and then no way Casey's gonna let the Patrick Mahomes leave. But
I don't know, dude.
Weirdo time.
I don't know. I'm interested to see
how way. All that goes. Do you know how much power Jerry Jones has? He would not let they probably had to bribe him to allow a team in Houston. By the way,
I'm not talking about. Dallas. I'm just saying in general. Like I'm interested to see
if the KC City fumbles Patrick Mahomes and just go to live in Canada. Get out of here.
Well, who knows? Maybe what's his name is retired by then, Andy Reid, and they're not very good. So they're like, you know what? Whatever. Like let them.
They're always going to be good.
Well, even without
always, because I see Dan and Daygo in the green room, so just to know him a little.
Even without Andy Reid,
always going to be good. As long as number what number is he? 10? 15.
Jack Wayne. See, that's how forgettable he is.
I'm not a real fan. There you go.
That's how forgettable he is.
Bill's barbecue in Kansas.
Without Andy Reid, I don't know. I have my questions. We should bring in somebody else that has those kind of questions, but Not Dan, somebody else. But I don't know if Gilbert's ready for all that intensity.
I'm ready.
Last one. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Jorge asked us right now. What do you guys think is more likely, Cardinals or Chargers trade back? I think it all depends on the Cardinals, to be honest, Jorge.
Yeah.
I think if there was a report that they want 3 first rounders for that number 4, I could see it. It's just gonna like that's with all these smoke screens now that Dallas wants to move up, that the Denver Broncos want to move up, that the Raiders want to move up. It's going to be and Minnesota obviously has the 2 first rounders for this year, and then obviously that have to offer one next year. But that's going to be the interesting part of it. If Arizona does do it, then all hell's about to break loose for the draft, because the Chargers are going to be sitting there at 5, and I'm sure teams are going to call, even if Arizona already traded out, they're going to have to decide, do we want Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors, or do we want to trade back and get more picks? So that's going to be the interesting part about this whole aspect. But if Arizona trades back, then all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah, if it is 3 first-round picks, I think you might have to do it. I get Marvin Harrison Jr. as a stud, but you only give up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback, not a wide receiver. Yeah. But it might be more Arizona just kind of putting out there who's going to bite. And I don't know if I believe it, but it could be a very enticing. But I'm going to say they stick at number 4 and they'll take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, I think Breer said that people there are some teams that like Malik Neighbors more than Marvin Harrison Jr.
It's weird because, again, weirdo time. Either people are hyping up Malik Neighbors to be number 1, or they're bashing the kid for off-the-field issues. It's like you can't get the right reporting.
Jorge, I don't know about all that, just because it's just I mean, like I said, it's weirdo time. So all these things are going to come out. I mean, remember when Micah Parsons was coming out? I mean, and I don't know.
Read the comment for the audio people.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. You guys think that Malik Neighbors rumors are true about him being a diva? I think it's BS. I just think we're in that time where like teams are throwing out stuff and people are throwing out things to get people to pass or to get people to. I didn't know Tua's brother was coming out in this draft, by the way. Like,
I don't know either.
Yeah, but yeah. So what do you like, the trade up and get a quality wide receiver, or stay pat and get an edge rusher?
I'm guessing that's a Rams related question.
Why would you get another receiver?
I wouldn't either. You got Puka and Cooper.
I like that kid. I like Latu.
Yeah, I like Latu too for an edge rusher. A lot of Rams fans like Chop Robinson. Remember they asked us a question the other day, but I still lean edge rusher. But then again, best available player, you never know.
But I don't think it'll be a receiver.
No. Well, once you get past, the big 3, it's kind of a drop off. And at that point, it's like, like if it's like somehow Neighbors Dunzia falls, yeah, go ahead and take those guys. But I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's do now rapid fire and get into that, because I know Jorge is waiting to see if his boy is here. So
wow.
Let's
that's how much pull Dan has. He has to be the main event. People wait around for him. Okay.
Well, and that's why Dan is who he is. I mean,
all right.
He's just
we'll get through the mid card.
This guy. We are the mid card. I mean, honestly. But hey, in Triple H's era, Gilbert, there is no such thing anymore. It's you start off the show with fire, you put fire in the middle, and then you end it with fire. So that's what it's all about when it comes to Triple H. I need to clip out that clip though. But all right, let's welcome in Vic, the producer. Vic, how are you doing?
Doing well, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, sir.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, last week we had Gilbert win, so we have to decide who goes first here. Or is it going to be Fernando or is it going to be Gilbert?
I'll go first.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start off with some baseball. The Dodgers were in a PR mess last week after Shohei Ohtani hit his first home run with the team. The gist of it is that the woman who caught the ball was bullied by the Dodgers into taking a deal for the ball after being told by people on Twitter that she didn't get enough for the ball. What would you guys have asked for it, and how would you guys have handled the situation? Go ahead and start us off, Gilbert.
Yeah, what a total ripoff from the Dodgers. I would have asked for $50K. I would have asked for 2 baseball bats signed, and I would have asked for Shohei Ohtani to be on Compas on the beat and bring the new translator with you. So be on the show. So those will be my checklist. I'm definitely getting money. Oh, one more thing. I'm getting 4 season tickets for the next 10 years because we need the Compas all together. It can't be just 2 tickets, right? So I will ask for all that. And if you don't want it, I'm out of there. Get me out of the freaking interrogation room with all your lawyers or whatever. I'm leaving. I thought it's a little shady from the Dodgers to separate the couple, telling the woman, hey, take it or leave it. Maybe the Dodgers were pressing their security team, whatever, their negotiating team. Hey, if Ohtani hits a home run and somebody takes it, make sure they don't get too much from us. And they overdid it. They did some good PR. They kind of backtracked and helped out the person, but you got to get some money out of it. I don't want to go on the field, run around the bases with Shohei. I don't want that crap. Give me money, give me season tickets, and give me Shohei on the show.
If we got Shohei on the show, I'd be like, Supotsu Jemu de Jinamburo o Shimotsuka.
Okay.
You gamble on sports games.
Wait, did you really just look that up?
Hell yeah, I did. I gotta do that, but that's exactly what I would have asked him. I'd be like, hey, straight up, like, ask translator, ask him, do it. Come on.
That would be your negotiation thing. Where like I get to ask one question, he needs to answer honestly.
No, I would be like, I'd have that ball, and I'd be like, look, bro, I don't want anything from the team. I want something from you. You're the one that wants this ball. What's up? What can we do? Get me something. Let's
play a gambling game for all the marbles on the
I would okay, so the room would be dark. There would be 2 lights shining down on 2 people. You sit down, mafia style, put the ball in the middle and be like, all right, what are we gonna what are you willing to give up for this ball? This is your first Dodger.
Change the tables on them. I like it.
Yeah. I'd be like, look, you probably made a lot of money off of the bet saying that today was going to be your first day hitting that home run. What's up? Like, what are we doing? Give it. No. I would have asked for probably money, season tickets for life, but I mean, it's the Dodgers. Why would I want to go to Chavez Ravine like that often?
Make them give you Dodgers season tickets. How about that?
No, hell no. I don't want season tickets. Nothing. Baseball's way too.
You can sell that. Just put them on freaking StubHub for the rest of your life.
I want money. That's what I would want. I would want money, and then give me a baseball bat, but give me like $150K. And then pay off my student loans, and give me a signed baseball bat, and then give me season tickets, and then I'll sell them online. Yeah, sure, go ahead, let's do it. Yeah, that's what I want. I want and then Gilbert, you already got him on the show, so so I want my student loan debt paid, and I would have gone. I want $1 billion.
Like, fine, I'll take $1 million. Never mind.
No, but I.
I'm gonna give that point to
you're wild.
I'm gonna give that point to Fernando for saying that he would ask to have his student loan paid off, because that's honestly that's a good way to go.
He's
like, hey,
Japanese, why not give him the point?
Yeah, he's like, hey man, I need my student loans paid off, so I'll give you that point there. All right, next one, we're gonna go back to football here. Something you guys have been talking about. So, you know, as you guys talked about, the Bills traded Stephon Diggs to the Texans for a second-round pick last week. Josh Allen's career took off once Diggs got there. Does Allen owe his resurgence to Diggs, or was he bound to make the leap no matter who his receiver was? Go ahead and start us off, Fernando.
I think he owes it more to Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll kind of sat him down and said, look, let's go through this. Let's see all your mistakes, and let's sit down and kind of go through it. I'm sure he sat down with Sean McDermott as well to kind of go over defenses. That's kind of a point that you've heard, that defensive coaches like Bill Belichick used to sit down with Tom Brady and be like, look, this is what defense are going to attack you with. This is what they're going to do. But I think Josh, his first season, he kind of noticed the mistakes that he made. I mean, when they threw him in against the Chargers, you saw those mistakes, but then you also saw the promise of what he potentially could be. So I definitely think that he deserves it more. I think he deserves it more. Brian Daboll deserves more credit, but I mean, also we can't take away anything from Josh Allen. I'm sure having Diggs there helped, but I think it's more about Brian Daboll when it comes to the coaching and everything that he was able to do and kind of help him out with it. I think coaching is what kind of helped him more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm sure Stephon, gets some credit. He did help out, and when he got there, it was when Allen made the leap from year 3. 2018, 2019 was very rough, and I was surprised how well he did in that third year with Stephon Diggs. But obviously, accuracy was an issue when he had a friendly target that helped him out too. As somebody who got open very quick, very good route runner. But Fernando's right too. Brian Daboll definitely helped out. It's like saying was Kirk Cousins going to be any good without Stephon? When Stephon left, Kirk Cousins, well, he got Justin Jefferson, so maybe I don't know about that one. But Kirk Cousins has been a solid quarterback. They do help, but Josh Allen's going to make the leap eventually. When, like I mentioned earlier, when they went away from Stephon and it was the running game with James Cook, it was Khalil Shakur, Gabe Davis. They played well. They were he was an MVP candidate without Stephon Diggs doing anything. So I'm sure it sped up the process, but I'm sure Josh Allen would have been fine without him.
Jorge's excited.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gilbert. I think it would have happened either way. I mean, I think he took the next level, and it was up to him. And as you saw, even without Diggs, he was able to do. He played better actually. Like they were a better team without Diggs. When he wasn't getting the ball. So point to you there, Gilbert. All right, guys, we're gonna get into some college basketball. I'm sure this will be the first time we'll ever talk about women's basketball. Caitlin Clark finished her career at Iowa without winning the title. And even though she broke many statistical records, her not winning a title is a big reason why many won't consider her the greatest of all time. With what she's done for women's basketball, like we said, we're talking about it on here, the past 2 years, should she be in the conversation for women's college basketball greatest of all time, or because even though she didn't win a title?
Yeah, I'm going first, right? So yeah, she should be in the conversation, but the greatest of all time, hell no, you didn't win the title. Like when I'm judging quarterbacks, I'm going off of Super Bowls and championships. And I get when those UConn women's team dominated, they were stacked rosters, but like you got to win one, man. Like South Carolina wasn't stacked like UConn, so I'm trying to pretend like I know a lot of women's college basketball, but I remember those UConn teams that dominated. I know South Carolina was undefeated. She was kind of like a one woman show at times there. Talented player, great 3-point shot, but no, you can't be the greatest of all time when you don't win a freaking title. She went up twice and she fell both times in the final.
I agree with Gilbert. If you lost, how can you be the GOAT? Like you didn't win anything. And I get where Jorge is coming from, that you put the sport on the map, but other people have done that before. Lisa Leslie has done that. Reggie Miller's sister, Cheryl Miller, she was big time as well. I mean, there's been and I guess that's WNBA, but still.
That might be the greatest of all time.
Cheryl Miller was elite. So I think the thing is that we're thinking about the here and now, and I feel like people just don't do there. We think of recency bias and we go, oh, that's a GOAT. Oh, that's a GOAT. Oh, that's a GOAT. Instead of saying, no, like that's just the next generation of person coming in. Jorge, Lisa Leslie, you need to look her up. She was vicious. So I if you don't win, I can't call you a GOAT of anything. Like Allen Iverson is my favorite player that did not win a ring. I think he's awesome, but he didn't win a ring at the end of the day. I mean, you remember the guys that won rings, and unfortunately, she's not one of those. So yeah, I can't call her the GOAT. I'm sure she'll be. Did you hear that the Aces have already rented out when they play?
He went from the Michelob Ultra Arena to
when they play whoever
the Fever,
Indiana Fever.
Yeah, there you go. Them. They get rented out a bigger arena so that she can be there. But I wonder how long this is all gonna last, because like once you go into the WNBA, it's gonna be different. So yeah. I mean, we all remember Jimmer Fredette and some of these like big time like college players, and then once they got to the league, kind of shifted. So
the good thing about her, like it wasn't just her, like she helped people bring more eyeballs, but like that I was gonna say, that person from UConn, the player from USC. There's like 3 or 4. The Angel Reese from LSU. So it's kind of like Magic and Bird, and people put the eyeball in the sports. But so for that, she gets credit.
Just real quick, I mean, if you're gonna be a villain, be a villain. If you want to be a superhero, be a superhero. Don't try and play villain and then jump back and then woe is me, all this stuff. No, like. You're going to be a villain and be the best damn villain that there is out there, because there are some people that have embraced it. I mean, Mahomes has embraced it. I think I can't say LeBron embraced it, because I remember he would pull too much childish BS when he was in Miami. So I can't even say he embraced it. But
tried at times, but it didn't come off naturally.
Kobe embraced it. And I think once he beat the Celtics, that's when like, oh, it's the Mamba, Vino. People loved him again. So like, if you're gonna be the villain, be the villain. So yeah, like I ain't gonna get into all that, but yes, essentially, Jorge, that's what I was kind of referring to. But all right, let's move on, because
and I agree with both of you guys in terms of what you said. I mean, as you talked about, Lisa Leslie was also someone who didn't win a college title, but she was great. She still won Doll Staley, who is the coach at South Carolina, also didn't win a
She's good.
college title, but she won a gold medal. Like I just think that the biggest thing here is for Caitlin Clark to put women's basketball on the map. And I think instead of having a GOAT talk, we should be having the conversation about what she might be able to do going forward for the sport, because we were having a conversation during Super Bowl media radio row with Adam Hill, and you guys did not know who Ionescu was. So it just
No,
tells
when you
you.
throw out that weird name, like
The backup center for the Raiders, all right?
I know her. Like, I know who she is. The last name I just never heard. I know who Sabrina is. Like, she was always hanging around Kobe, and they would always post together. And she played at Oregon. I knew that.
We know that.
The last name is what threw me off. I didn't know the last name. Like, that last name is just different.
Nobody knows
Right,
the backup for
and
the
nobody
Raiders, right?
knows who the Raiders' backup guard was. So
I don't even know his name.
that was pretty funny of
No, not
Adam
him,
Hill to
her,
put you
her
guys
last
in
name.
that situation. But
You only
I'll
know the backup for the Raiders center if you're a real fan and you're a beat reporter. So
I honestly thought you were like, when he first said it, I said ayahuasca. Like, I didn't know what the hell he was saying. Like, but
all right, guys, I'll give you guys both the points since you guys made the same point there. All right, next one. This one has to do with Aaron Donald. So Aaron Donald was on the Green Light podcast with Chris Long last week and said TJ Watt is the best defensive player in the NFL. We saw the impact Donald had on the NFL, but what will be his lasting legacy when you bring up his career in the NFL? And is he right? Is TJ Watt the best defensive player?
wait, so Aaron Donald, and so a two-parter. Aaron Donald's like, I don't know if I'd call him the greatest of all time at his position. I think he's damn near close. The one lasting image that I'll remember is when he knocked over Joe Burrow or caused him to underthrow that pass to Jamar Chase, takes off his helmet and starts going like that. Like, that's what I'll always remember about him. I definitely think that he was relentless. He was vicious. I remember people were kind of down talking him when the Rams took him a couple of years ago. People were saying that was a stretch. Your boy Mel Kiper, your guys' boy Mel Kiper was the one kind of like, I don't know about big this, that. I don't know. But I think Aaron Donald was vicious. I think it took almost three offensive linemen to kind of contain him. So I was very impressed with the career that Aaron Donald had. Fortunately, 10 years goes by so fast because it's already over. So I'm interested to see what he does next. He'll probably just be in the shadows for the time being, but it'll be interesting. And then best defensive player, I still think it's Myles Garrett, to be honest. I think TJ, I'm gonna get knocked for saying this. I think he gets hurt like towards the end of the season. I think he gets hurt way too often. They can't count on him towards the end of the season. He gets his numbers up there, but I think if we remove the image of JJ Watt in our heads, there would be a fat like, oh, I wonder who's better, who's more impactful. But the reason is we think about TJ and we think about JJ as well. So I think that's why people are like, oh yeah, no, he's the best. But I think Myles Garrett just has a lot to do with exactly why Cleveland was a lot better last year and they made the playoffs. So I think Myles deserves a lot of credit for what he does. So I don't know if I agree with Aaron when it comes to that.
Yeah, if the question was most dominant when healthy, why not? TJ Watt, he definitely knows how to impact a game, and I can even say that better than.
I think your mic is off.
Oh, give me a second. Well,
yeah, but I just don't know if I would count TJ as I mean, I think he's great and everything, but there's some. Oh my God, Jorge, you're gonna get me in trouble.
All right, well, I'm gonna go back to TJ Watt. He just doesn't stay healthy enough for me. He always misses 3 games, but when he's on the field, he's a game wrecker. I could definitely say that without hesitation. But I'm gonna keep going with Chris Jones as the best defensive player in the NFL because he has the hardware, back-to-back Super Bowls, and yeah, maybe it's not all Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid because Chris Jones is holding it down for that very dominant defense. So I think it's still him right now at the moment. And then in terms of impact, it was cool when I went to cover Eagles and Rams, and I was in the locker room for Jason Kelsey to break down how they game plan for Aaron Donald. Nobody else gets that type of treatment. I don't remember the last time, but and then hearing Aaron Donald talk about that from his point of view on that same podcast or interview with Chris Long saying, yeah, I hated playing Jason Kelsey. I hated the Eagles because they would triple team me. The second the ball snapped, Jason Kelsey would be in my face and they won't let him do anything. So that was cool to see. But in terms of best player, it's definitely Chris Jones. And he elevated his game when Aaron Donald did too.
Did you see Philly fans were booing George Kittle every single time he came on the screen?
Oh, really? I didn't even catch that, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Bailey didn't get booed because she's a Niners fan. But I digress. But I just wanted to say, yeah, I'm with you, Gilbert, on this. I think it's Chris Jones, and I think for me the biggest thing for his legacy, which is something I wrote on the Compas newsletter, so make sure you go and check it out. And that's the dudes that are getting paid. I mean, all the defensive tackles and the way you're seeing. I mean, that's why I knew that there's 10 defensive tackles who are now have been paid. I mean, I can go down the list here. It's Chris Jones, Derek Brown, Christian Wilkins, Justin Matabuki, Quinnen Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, Deron Payne, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and Javon Hargrave. All these dudes got paid. I mean, yeah, yeah, no, but yeah, like he changed the position, and I think that's the biggest thing with his legacy. So I'm giving you the point there, Gilbert, because as you said, I mean, Chris Jones has been outstanding. All right, moving on to Combat Sports here, and I sent you guys a video over the weekend. So is it fair or foul for DAZN to interview David Benavidez while he's drunk as a spectator at a boxing match over the weekend?
I forgot. Is it me now or you, Fernando?
It is you.
Yeah, it's definitely foul. Like, come on. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't know that he was, drunk, and they just said, "Hey, who's your PR guy? Can we interview David?" He says, "Yeah, go ahead." Maybe it's on the PR person, the publicist. Maybe it's a trainer. I know his dad's a trainer. But when the second he's drinking water before the interview, that's when you know it's a little bad. And maybe when you're drinking water to get ready for the interview, maybe you shouldn't accept that interview. So, it could be on both parts, but maybe the zone had no idea. And you know what? The second you started talking, okay, we messed this up here. So it looks bad on all their part. But he's a young, he's a young champion, or I don't know if he's a champion currently, but he's a young fighter. He might fight on that undercard with Gervonta Tank Davis in June, I think, in Houston. I don't like him being a co-main event. You got to build this guy's brand, right? You want him to fight Canelo Alvarez. Make him headline an event. Go find somebody who's not a big name, but a good enough name where he could headline a pay-per-view. Because Canelo said, "Hey, $100 million, or we ain't talking." So you got to build his brand, and to put him on a co-main, but maybe being drunk in an interview builds the brand in a bad way, but also builds a brand.
What did you say, that it hurts or it doesn't hurt?
And
or fair or foul?
It was fair or foul, so I went foul on both parts, the zone and his people.
I think it's fair. I think his people should have stopped him if they thought that it wasn't like you. Essentially, when you're his people, you're basically a babysitter. They were terrible babysitters. They should have been like, no, you know what? He's not down to talk right now. Thank you so much, or whatever. But I just thought that it was a bad look from all parties, and I didn't think it was a bad look for DAZN. I mean, that's on Benavidez' people for letting him talk. But I mean, whatever, he was drunk. Okay, how many people remember when Strickland and what's name went at it a couple of months ago at a UFC event and stuff? Like, you just never know. I mean, it's all, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it, to be honest. He was drunk, okay, but it's on his people to nip that in the butt, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with Fernando on this one. I'm giving him the point here just because also, Gilbert, if you look at that water bottle, that was not water. He had something mixed in there.
Wow, even worse.
Yeah, if you check out that video again, you'll see, yeah, like, because he kept sipping on that. I was like, that is not water, not the way you would sip on that. So, but Fernando's right. I mean, both the zone and him knew what they were doing. Yeah, he apologized because it looked bad. But like, honestly, like, and I'm with you as well, Gilbert. Like, he should promote himself a little bit better. Like, coming off drunk at an interview, that also doesn't look good for yourself. Like, go and promote yourself a little better, because if you want to fight with Canelo, you're gonna need to have more exposure out there for yourself.
Let's not forget, he lost the belt when he was really young for donut powder reasons.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're all tied up. So I got a bonus question here for you guys. So we've seen the explosion of the wide receiver position in the past decades. Will teams start to value the position like we've seen with running backs? And part of the reason I wanted to put this question on here was because you're starting to see that. So like the Chargers, they might not draft a receiver till the middle rounds. You can wait, especially when you have a draft like this where it's top heavy with receivers, and you've seen like even we mentioned Stephon Diggs. They found Justin Jefferson right away. So will we start seeing that, or will we? Just because the position is so good now, is it not going to be devalued like we've seen with running backs?
Well, I think it's gonna all be on coaching, but I don't think it'll be devalued like the running back position. I think that, I mean, everybody wants to play receiver now because it's a big, flashy everything. You got to do dances, you got to do all this stuff. You're on posters, you're on this, you're on that. Obviously, To Chad Johnson, Jerry Rice, these guys made Randy Moss. They all made that stuff. Well, actually, let me take Jerry Rice out of that because he was just a great player, but like these guys were the flashy guys. So I think flashiness is kind of what everybody wants to do. So I don't think that's just because it worked for like I mean, even the Packers, they still drafted a lot of those guys in the second, third round. So I'd be surprised if the Chargers waited up until the middle rounds, like the fourth, fifth, sixth round, or third, fourth, fifth. But Chad Ochocinco, oh wow, I saw that. But no, I don't think it'll be devalued like the running back position. I think people know what kind of players they have. Like Justin Jefferson is going to get paid. Like guys are going to get paid. Jamar Chase has he been paid? No, not yet. But guys are going to get paid, especially when you have those elite talents like Jamar Chase, like Justin Jefferson. Those guys will get paid, but I don't think it'll lose its value. I just think that yes, now Team C, you know what? We can draft a receiver later and all that, but I don't think it's going to be devalued. I think people really want Marvin Harrison Jr. I think people really want Malik Neighbors. I think people really want those guys.
Yeah, I can see like maybe there could be some kind of devaluing going on because the position is very deep in the draft, and you can always find a wide receiver. But when you see Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb about to break $200 million, that tells you a lot. There's like no way a running back is going to come close to getting even $100 million nowadays. So 200 million for Justin Jefferson, I would not be surprised. And then here's another example. Calvin Ridley is what, the 20th best wide receiver in the NFL. He almost got a $100 million contract. So money talks. If you are a star wide receiver or even a number 2 wide receiver, you're going to get paid. Brandon Ayuk, he will probably get paid. He's not number 1 on his team, but he could be number 1 on most teams. T. Higgins was franchise tag. He'll probably get paid too, like a number 1. So if you can play, they'll find you and they'll pay you.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gilbert. And then part of it too is like every kid now is playing wide receiver now. Like it's either corner, and I saw Albert Breer on Rich Eisen's show, and he was talking about how, have you noticed how all the DBs, all they're like sons of former players, and it's because they know that where they can make their money. And so a lot of these coaches are putting these kids into wide receiver rooms and cornerback positions because that's where you're going to continue to get paid. I think that's why you're going to start like someone like OBJ would have probably been a running back, back in the day. But now because of, how in the explosion of the receivers, we're seeing that. So point to you, Gilbert, another win, another week. So congratulations.
Yes, I am the best of this episode here, NFL Rapid Fire. But Fernando, I'll give you some credit because you did speak in Japanese not too long ago.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Jorge, are you still here or not?
He left.
Yeah, no, he probably did. Because it's about time that we see if Dan and Daygo is here. Let's check it out.
Nobody wants to wait an hour for Dan, so I don't blame the people.
I mean, we'll see, but let's see. Is Dan here?
Cut the music. Let me tell you something. I was in the green room yesterday and I heard some absolute horseshit. Sorry, brother. Sorry for cussing. From that stooge, that scumbag, Gilberto. I am never too big for the program guy. There's just times where the schedule might conflict, but that's all right. I'm a problem solver. We're gonna problem solve and work around it.
Gilbert, do you know who Sketch is or no?
I saw
Tuesday,
the
Okay, hold on, Dan.
Oh,
Tell him
the-
what happened. Tell him what
CJ
happened to
Stroud
you.
video. CJ Stroud.
Tell him what happened to you yesterday.
dude.
At,
Swear to God, Monday morning, first day back from break. In every single class, someone says Tuesday, sorry, brother, what's up, brother, or special plays, special teams, special whatever. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hate these trend things. Like, it's the stupidest thing ever.
What is it? I didn't even know who this guy was until I saw him.
Streamer. He's some streamer on TikTok who like blew up. So
He's the one that had the picture with Stephon Diggs and CJ Stroud, right?
I
yeah,
have no idea.
He works out with those guys. Like he does all kinds of stuff.
I had no idea who the guy was, and then like I started trying to figure out who he was. I'm like, oh, he's probably a YouTuber, and that's how I know how I'm old.
That's what it was.
Like, yeah, people are like really enamored. I mean, I've seen some of his videos, and the dude is like really funny. Like the dumb shit that he
What's up,
does
my boy?
is pretty funny or whatever. But
It's funny, but I'm like, come on, dude. What's up, my boy? I am here today. Yesterday, I got cut. Little inside baseball. I got cut yesterday.
Him.
Yeah, let's believe. I swear. You do what I think you're gonna do. No, I'm just kidding. Is that
What do you mean
too
you're
far?
just
Wait,
kidding?
I gotta commit
What do you-
now.
I gotta commit now. You're right. Thank
Like
you
that,
for letting
it's
me
guy in
know.
the Texans
Okay,
jersey. So like he just does like different stuff, and he just does weirdo things. So
Shout out to you, Jorge. I'll keep shouting you out and make it
He's
more.
like a Madden streamer, and he's like popular.
yeah,
for
yeah,
that?
but
that's
he,
all
like,
it
does-
is.
Oh.
He's had Vontez Burfict on, and like he's like in one of those, he's like, "Hey Vontez, what's it like to like?" He's like, "Sketch, I'm gonna knock you out." He's like, "Oh really? Like you knocked yourself out of your career?" And then like just like dumb stuff
It's
like
pretty
that. And then
funny.
like with Sauce Gardner, Sauce is like, "Oh yeah, Greg Zerline has a huge leg." He's like, "Oh." He's like, I guess Sauce Gardner's a watcher in the locker room. And so just like he just does dumb stuff, but it's I
Yeah.
guess it's pretty
Maybe
funny.
we chose the wrong streaming platform. We should actually be like playing video games
Twitch?
while we're talking.
Twitch.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, I don't know if you guys saw, but
I want to
because
talk about
we are gonna-
WrestleMania. I want it to be known. I want to talk about WrestleMania.
I know we are going to talk
Yeah,
about
you have 8 minutes left, so come on, let's get to it.
the tribal chief has
Throw your ones
spoken.
up. Throw your ones up, sons of bitches. Throw them up.
He put yesterday I mourned, today is day one.
I love it. I love it.
Put your ones up.
I-
Thank you, Roman.
I'm excited about that. But all right, Dan, go ahead and have your
Okay. I want to say a few things. Okay.
and don't go too long because
7
I
minutes
want
and
to-
30 seconds left.
No. I won't. First thing I want to say, right, is I don't know about you guys, but well, actually, no, I'll talk about this first. When you saw all these characters come back and everything else, that's what it felt like. If you watched the Avengers live, that's what I felt like right there. It was everything where I'm like, wow. Like all these guys I remember watching, grew up watching, and everything else coming out. Like that was absolutely amazing. I like that little callback. And I think you had a very good point, Gilberto, yesterday. That was kind of a cool thing to do for the older fans, but you're also blending in the newer talent and you're not making it just about the old heads and everything else. That was, I thought, super awesome. Like you want to talk about reaction videos? We should have had one for that one. That would have been really good. Joe's, I don't know if you've seen Joe Moley. Shout out to him.
Oh, yeah.
His reaction video is so badass with those two guys we met over there.
Samoans. You can say
Yeah,
Samoans.
I was gonna say
Samoans.
No, I was
Yeah.
gonna say the Ooses. The Ooses.
Yeah. Fits in. It fits
But,
in TJ. You'll
yeah,
probably
shout out
meet.
to
You
you.
don't know what's
I-
racist anymore,
that's
huh,
what I was gonna
Dad?
say. I met him at the WWE thing. The Ooses
Yeah.
over there.
Those
And
guys are-
that
those guys
was
are
an
funny.
awesome video. But what was I gonna tell you? I don't know.
What about Logan Paul's?
I don't give a rat's ass about Logan Paul.
Thank you,
I-
Dan. Finally
I'm
agree on
honestly-
something.
I'm honestly pissed off Kevin Owens didn't win, or Randy. Like, I think Kevin Owens is underutilized. I think The Miz is underutilized. I think there's so much talent on this roster that you don't need the same five chasing the championship. But whatever. One thing I wanted to say, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like yay. But I felt like but on Sunday, I felt like when Roman lost, it reminded me like this about the Undertaker streak. And I was like, is this real? Like I was almost like hesitant. I was like, this can't be real. But
when he did the second one, I was waiting
Yeah.
for somebody to jump in and take him out or something.
you gotta just love wrestling, and this is what people don't understand. Like, wrestling is almost the embodiment of Greek mythology. Like, you have Cody Rhodes, the son of essentially a royal name and everything else. He's been through the mud, through the shitter, had, like, my favorite line, right? Goes from undesirable to undeniable. And, just that whole storyline, absolutely amazing. Frown, you had a good point saying that Triple H, likes telling stories for the long game, so we're gonna have to wait and everything else. And the last thing I want to say, one thing I do want to say, hey, I'm freaking made of steel, dude. One thing I do want to say, and here we're not gonna agree. I think it's so crazy that now we live in a world. Oh, there he is.
There he
There's
is,
Joe.
Joe Morley.
There he is, Joe.
Yeah, there's Joe
But anyway,
Morley.
They are in right now. I have always thought wrestling's always been cool, but that's a different discussion. But one thing I want to say, and this is not where we're going to agree on, the fact that we live in a world where Drew McIntyre is better on the mic than The Rock, to me, is unbelievable. Like, I think The Rock.
Are you delusional?
Let's go back to Saturday.
Delusional?
Let's go back to Saturday. Saturday
he's
in that match, I don't think
Killing it on the microphone since day one, January.
No, he hasn't. Since he's been back. Listen to what I'm telling you, guy. Listen to this, right? Listen to me. Focus. Because let me tell you something. What you're battling right now is nostalgia. I get it. You see The Rock and you remember The Rock. You remember The Rock in the Attitude Era, growing up and everything else. It's just like, for a while, right? Every time The Undertaker would come out, I could not see the negative until it got too bad. Now I'm like, Undertaker needs to stop coming out, dude. Please stop using them. Because this is the other thing. Two things I'm going to tell you. Two things real quick, and then a third. The Rock can't even sell moves. The Rock can't even sell moves anymore. Couldn't sell the freaking rock bottom on the table. The bastard couldn't even jump up. That's ridiculous. The second one that really pisses me off, how could you not have sold the choke slam better? The Undertaker.
Because the guy who did it was 80 years old. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. All you have to do is have him hold your throat and you jump up into oblivion.
Because
he didn't do it.
He's 50.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Pop an Achilles.
Let me tell you something. And this is the thing that bothers me. And this is where I don't think, again, we're going to disagree. But this is what you're not understanding. What you said is perfect. How do you keep the young talent without making it about the old heads and everything else? If The Rock really, based off of Monday, is going to do a title run, that is not acceptable. He should not be getting a title. He should not be getting in the ring, and this is my thing. And this is my theory I came up with today. This is the reason why The Rock bothers me so much. I think right now, he's trying to make up for lost time. He left early in his career to go to Hollywood. He left. He probably feels like he has a lot of unfinished business to do. That is not now, guy. You are not that guy. It is all about Damian Priest, Cody Rhodes, the Tribal Chief, the Usos, the freaking Gunther, the Ring General, Kevin Owens,
Logan Paul.
No, I wouldn't even say Sami Zayn because I'm not a Sami Zayn guy either. But you know what I'm saying? It's all about them now. It's all about Drew. It's all about Seth. It's all about those guys.
I don't care.
Let him come up, dude. Like, in my mind, him cursing and him
get out of here, Joe. At least I used to be cool. I'll take that.
Him cursing doesn't do it for me. Like, that's not enough for a good promo. One thing I will give him credit that I thought was awesome. It was funny.
Here we go. Everybody be careful.
Three things I've liked since he's been back.
Here we go.
Three things I've liked.
It's gonna be a blog story too.
The song that he did, funny.
Oh,
that
the
looked like
entrance
Vince's
is
rock.
incredible.
With John Morant.
No, I'm talking about the song that he did on
his
guitar.
entrance.
Yeah, okay. I don't care about that. I'm talking about
the one in Memphis with the
in the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh.
When he used the kids on the Jumbotron, that was funny. And the Rock's entrance Sunday night when John Cena was out there, that was hilarious. But again, listen to what I'm telling you when it comes to him on the mic. I'm comparing him to the last time I saw him, which was against Cena. Cena Rock and this Rock, whatever this is, unrecognizable. And even then, I thought Cena.
Hey, right now, this Rock versus this Cena is so much better. Give him that.
No,
like Cena is just like barely trying to make it out there. He's like cracking out there. He needs a cane.
I would
put bald spot in the back. Just cut it off, man. Like, it's time.
Are you really serious?
I don't know.
You know why?
Cena is
sorry. You go and then I'll go.
I'm just saying, Cena looks like he's really ready to check out, and that's why he keeps saying, you know what, I'm not even gonna make it to 50. But I like how he came out yesterday with awesome truth. So he still has a nice rub. I'm just saying, this Rock who trained for 12 weeks straight is better than the Cena. But 10 years ago, fine. Cena ran circles over him. I'll say that finally on the program.
Okay, but let's look at that, right? And by the way, Jorge, you're right. He's just Dwayne. He's not even The Rock anymore. He's irrelevant. Let's look at that, right? Difference in careers.
Final boss.
The Rock, probably less than 10 years, traveling and doing all that stuff, WWE. Is that fair? About?
Yeah.
10 years? All right.
10.
Cena did 20, maybe 25. I don't even know how far he got up to.
He did about 20.
20.
The Rock as a pro wrestler? Oh,
No. The Rock has only been a pro. The Rock was a pro wrestler for about like 10 years.
Give him 10. Give him 10. Yeah, like 94 to 2004.
Cena was about 16. No, like 17 to 20.
Damn, that means he was a champion once a year.
But you see what I'm saying?
Almost,
see what I'm saying though? Like the wear and tear on the body is completely different.
All right. I'll give you that.
And also look the different body type. When The Rock was in WWE, allegedly before whatever he puts into himself now, that may not be vitamins. He's a lot thinner. He's a lot more mobile. He's a lot more everything else. When you get older, I just don't think the whole bodybuilder thing is the way he should go. Like he should go more.
But let's be honest.
And everything else.
The Rock did lose. Like from when we saw him in January, Dan, to WrestleMania, he lost weight easily 25 pounds.
Maybe that's true.
To 50. And I thought he looked athletic on Saturday. I thought he looked better than he had. Man, I'll tell you one thing I saw today, and it's a report by I do trust this person. They're saying that next year's WrestleMania main event might be The Rock versus Cody Rhodes for that championship.
1 year build up.
But I think what they're doing is that's to build Cody even bigger than what he is right now. Like, so I think slowly but surely it's just like they're gonna put him up.
Okay, see, now is where maybe I'll get a little fatigued with The Rock. I thought this was perfect. Go back to the movies, man. I loved it.
I would do it. I would do it in Cleveland, to be honest. I would do it in Cleveland. SummerSlam, Rock versus Cody.
The final
I was kind of fresh, yeah.
And then maybe Roman's the one that turns on The Rock, and he comes out and he's like, "Hey, why are you trying to take my rematch from me?" So I'm just saying, like, there's ways that you can fix this to where, but
no. The Rock should not get a title match.
I think the final boss gimmick has actually been really good. I think it's been fun.
He's been having so many personas, and they found a new one.
Especially when he takes off the belt and he goes, "Mama Rhodes," like, and he like points it at her and everything. Like, I thought she played her role pretty well as well.
She did. He's deranged at this point. Like, for the fact that he's saying "Crybaby" or Cody Crybabies, and what's the first thing? That was great. What's the first thing he does when he gets in the ring? Bitch at the referee? Don't you dare call this down the middle. I will fire you. Who's the crybaby?
The villain role, the final boss.
But that's what I'm saying.
Dan, can we agree on one thing? Like, adding the final boss element to the Cody Rhodes finishing the story, I think it added more to Cody Rhodes. And also let him he won. He had his night. Everybody came out to celebrate. Who gets sad? The whole freaking parade from the locker room. Like, adding The Rock to the story, I think let Cody go a little higher when it comes to like status in the WWE.
Maybe the thing that bothers me is the whole final boss thing. Like, it's funny, it's cool though. When he did the video game thing in his entrance, that was cool. But it's like, I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I've seen it from Stephanie. I've seen it from Triple H. I've seen it from Vicky Guerrero. Like, The Rock is big enough himself where he doesn't have to flaunt. Which, by the way, whoever the hell's his agent or whatever got them that TKO board doing nothing. I mean, shout out to them. We need to hire them or find them. Like, they need the award. They need the revenue. Like, that's ridiculous.
Let's move on real quick before we bring in Vic, the producer. Dan, you are our resident Colorado Buffs guy. So
what do you have this week? Do you have news still? What the hell?
Oh, there's been a lot of crap coming out of Colorado, dude.
Speaking of crap,
how do you keep tabs on this?
Yeah, well, shout out to Coach JB.
Yeah.
Coach AB and Twitter. So the locker room was a mess.
In the locker room.
Oh, didn't like somebody weren't they failing their grades or their classes or something?
Correct. Yes. But we're a team, correct? So all of us gonna pay for that. It's our house.
I ain't hard to find.
I need to get some raised like that. Your parents let you get down like that. I'm not one of those parents. So we're gonna take care of that after practice today. Normally, I would take care of it before, but I want a good practice at you. We're going to take care of that after practice. And if one of y'all quit, you off the team. One of y'all shut it down or come up with a certain illness of a certain ailment, your locker going to be clean as well. We're not going to live like that. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that?
Well, yeah, like, so there's been a lot of things coming out of Colorado. The thing Gilberto mentioned before that was that they were supposedly being disrespectful to teachers.
Yeah,
they weren't paying attention. They weren't doing what they need to do. And, you know, now this, in my opinion.
There is content. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I thought JB
they're recording for like a Netflix show or something like that.
No,
like,
the son, Dion Jr. has a YouTube page, and he's
Wait, there's a Dion Jr. and a Shador and a
Hold
Shiloh.
on, you know that there's no, hold on. There's thank you, Gilbert. There's another Sanders, Shalomi Sanders, Deion Sanders' daughter, enters a college basketball transfer portal at Colorado.
Oh wow, but. So yeah, he runs a media
every year
thing
for his
whatever.
birthday though. He ranks his children.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I like that. That's pretty funny.
But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff coming out, and you know, I think JB made a good point on his show the other day or today. He's like, I just don't think you should be posting that online. All that should get fixed in house. And it's like, I get why they do it because of the recruiting, and they see Coach Prime getting after it and everything else, and maybe for the parents.
Hey, putting the kids on blast for the grades, I actually like that. It won't make them,
because the worst part was, honestly, in that video, he says, let's see if they have a draft grade for the NFL. This guy, no draft grade, and you're acting like this. He keeps going. But it's like, in my opinion, I was talking about this the other day with my coaching buddies. Like, now I'm starting to wonder if, like, he just brought in whatever top talent he could, not really trying to see if they mix well with the team, character issues, you know, what type of person they are. Because, like, that happens a lot, dude. And when you have that, there's a lot of fractures in the team. Like, you can't just bring talented players. You have to, obviously you can, but, like, you need to bring in talent that fits well and is good, you know, chemistry for your locker room. Because how many times haven't you seen guys who are cancers in the locker room, hell of athletes and players, but it never kind of comes to fruition because everybody hates each other. Like, you do have to have that team camaraderie, no matter, despite what everybody believes.
By the
Coach
way,
Stan, I love it.
Before we oh damn it, bastard. Before we move on and again bring Vic.
We got 15 minutes left.
Hold on. I know. Remember what happened last year to these guys when they were playing UCLA?
Oh, yeah,
and they got their diamonds jacked and all that stuff. Okay, look what they're doing now with their social media. Hold on, I'm going.
Colorado football players chains.
Yeah, this to me is ridiculous. You should not be doing this.
Yeah. Checking if it's real.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're checking if it's real.
I think that's, oh no, that's
and
they're checking to see if it's real.
NIL.
But this is why. You know what's funny? The other day, I thought it was.
I was gonna say, if you flaunt that much, you're gonna get jacked. So
yeah. Well, especially when you go to other places, like, well, either way, I don't understand why you would travel with such expensive things. Like, the most expensive thing I travel with is my laptop or my headphones. Like, that's,
you know what, the most expensive thing that
the hat.
Oh yeah, my hat. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, that thing cost me a pretty penny.
That Deion Sanders travels with. Number 2.
Bro, so you think I'm wild? Shador Sanders. If you think I'm wild, there's a guy on JB's show who thinks they're gonna win a bowl game and Shador is gonna go top 5. I'm like, I don't see that. Oh, there's the goat right there, the young goat.
Is that Leighton Vander Esch?
Yeah, Vander Esch.
He's retired.
I was about to say, didn't he just retire? Yeah.
Come on, let's see what they're gonna do.
Are they at Best Buy?
No, it's like a car.
Are they both from Oregon?
No.
Kendall, let's start something great.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, let's go get some sponsorship from Kendall now.
Let's well, that was pretty funny. I was wondering to see what that was gonna be like.
That was one of the dumbest commercials I've ever seen.
That's a nice paycheck for Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
all right, let's bring in Vic to do what is it? Yeah, you know. Welcome back, Vic.
Hey, good to be back. I'm sure people wanted to my face. So
You're getting less airtime because this guy Chatty over here is 22 minutes.
I'm
with Dan and
okay with
Daygo.
that. Dan is putting on a show, so
I was letting it rip from my hip. What are you talking about?
All right.
Trademark pending.
Let's see. Trademark pending. All right, let's get into a little oh crap, what is this?
Burial of the week.
Burial of the week. My bad, I completely forgot. Who's got it this week?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No,
go ahead, Gil.
I had the same plane with Rikishi, so I'm gonna give you my story. So
you were on a plane with Rikishi?
Rikishi, man, the
That's some more
Mr.
stink face.
Stink face. There you go. So I went on Spirit Airlines for the first time. I want to say like in 10 years. So I forgot how things operate, and obviously you hear the horror stories, and then you hear about the Boeing planes and they're not safe. Well, Spirit doesn't have that. It was a last minute trip to Philly, so I got on Spirit Airlines, and it was a nightmare. It was terrible. The only good thing about it was Rikishi was on there, so on the plane, and I sat right behind him, and it got to the point where like even Rikishi was a little annoyed. So I won't give his story too much because it's Rikishi, and hopefully we'll get on the show one day and we could bash Spirit together. But the plane was delayed going there like about an hour. Beat left out of the plane was delayed. Fernando was waiting for me because his plane got there much earlier, and he was giving me the play-by-play. He gave me the play-by-play of what was going on. I guess we're at the
Who'd you get yelled at by?
wrong gate.
Spirit Airlines lady, she was very angry. But then a nice waitress told us that they are always very, very rude. So
yeah, and then they're Philly Spirit people, so there's attitude there, and then it's right next to Frontier, so that whole terminal is just chaos. By the way, so
you mean ass?
Yeah, so leave it at that. So we were delayed, get into Philly, and then to get off the plane. And then like they I guess people weren't joking. They do charge for everything, even water.
Yeah. Yes.
So I had to like, make sure I was hydrated. I did refuse to pay for the Wi-Fi, so I couldn't watch anything, and I messed up and I downloaded anything or even bringing a book. So I'm just like bored out of my mind for a 5-6 hour flight. And then I get a little hungry and I see everybody ordering a cup of noodles. Why do people order a cup of noodles on a Spirit flight? Well, it must be the cheapest thing on the menu because everybody ordered a cup of noodles, even I think Rikishi. So yeah, it was a struggle for 6 hours. The only good thing I was behind Rikishi was kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, I watched them dance for Too Cool, doing the worm and all that. So that was pretty cool. And then a lot of people want to take pictures of Rikishi. But other than that, Spirit was a nightmare. But coming back, smooth. I'll give him credit for that. Coming back was okay. And I was tired. So I was like, okay, make sure everything's okay. So that was my first Spirit experience in about 10 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's TMZ, bro.
Look at the star right there.
He waves at nobody too. Was that earlier?
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
I'm waving at your brother. What do you mean?
Oh.
Screw this place. Did I say that?
You know what's funny? That's why you don't go on those cluster F airlines, dude. I go with my boys at Alaska. I got the card and everything. I had a great
I thought I was
time.
getting a deal on the flight, and then they just keep charging and charging.
You know what's funny? I've sometimes like for things I'll spend a bed or a mattress I'll spend for, shoes I'll spend for. Now I'm kind of realizing flights I might spend a little more for and always go Alaska, especially because I have the mileage plan anyway. But it's like it was so smooth, bro. Like I call it the Chick-fil-A of the air as a joke. Like everybody was so nice and everything else. Like I honestly think you have more room in Alaska than half of these other flights. Like I'm like
the
I
seat on
liked it.
Spirit was tiny, man. And my
that's what I'm saying.
For 5 hours, man.
Yeah, and they're stiff, just like the Frontier ones. Yeah.
Jeez.
No, not my Alaska Airlines. Shout out to them. Sponsor.
All right, Vic, you want to go next?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about something. I know we kind of touched a little bit during rapid fire on the whole Caitlin Clark stuff, but it made me think about all the old heads, and and it might work out for I guess being able to talk crap about the younger generation, and you want them to earn it. So I understand that, but it seems like every sports league does this from generation to generation, and it's kind of starting to get a little old. You have guys who talk bad about the younger generation, or you talk bad. Like I went through a rabbit hole a couple weeks ago where they were talking about the 90s are done because they went back and look, there's kids now who are on YouTube breaking down 90s tape from the NFL and the NBA, and they're like, you guys talk about that. This is the golden age of the sports leagues. And and I understand why this new generation is pissed off at the old generation, because all they do is, whether it's Charles Barkley, whether, as you saw, Diana Taurasi talking stuff about Caitlin Clark, it's like you got to earn it, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like we have to end this cycle of just talking down to the new generation. It just looks bad on everybody, and eventually you just gotta get through it. I just feel like we crap on every generation, and we want our generation to be the one that stands out, but that's not the case. It's about trying to pass on, you know, what you've learned from each generation and educate people. And I just feel that we're getting to that point now where everything has to be, slander. And I'm with Fernando when he talks about, if you're gonna be a villain, be a villain. Like, embrace it. Like, if that's what you're gonna do, then go ahead and do it, like we've seen with Angel Reese. But at the same time, if you're not ready for it, then don't commit to it. Like, just, if you're gonna come out, like, you even saw it in the rap game where, Kendrick Lamar went after Drake and J. Cole, and then J. Cole went back at him, and then he's like, you know what? I don't wanna, I don't wanna, battle you, rap battle you, because I feel like that sends the wrong message. Like I said, if you're gonna commit to being a villain, then do it. But otherwise, I just feel like, generation after generation, we continue to do this, and it just seems like we fall into the same thing over and over. Like, I want to see the best players out there. I want to see the Steph Currys. I want to see all these, players do well. What we've seen with Patrick Mahomes. I want to make sure that they play, but I just don't want to see. If you're gonna commit to being a villain, then do it. But I just don't think that we need to continue to just crap on every generation.
By the way, that was terrible from J. Cole. Freaking do the diss and shut up. Oh no, I regret doing the diss. Get out of here.
You never apologize. You never apologize. That's one thing I've learned. You never apologize. One thing I will say.
Yes, King.
I
5-1
can't
says
believe the disrespect.
Stardust is the champ now.
Oh yeah. Imagine being like in a cave for the last 10 years or 15. Like, what the hell happened?
By the way, shout out to Fernando before you guys comment, but I found, because of him, I'm kind of more into WWE, and I found out why. Like, I was like, why is The Rock in the ring, saying, hey, I want to look at that belt, and it was a callback to when he was a younger fighter in the WWE, and he said, and then Cody Rhodes, goes into the ring after The Rock had just won the title, and he's like, Cody Rhodes is like, I want to look at that title because I'm gonna be here for the next 10 years. That didn't work out, but shout out to you, Fernando.
Going back this generation,
that's true. That's the problem.
They didn't get this.
Kind of
That's the
callback.
problem. Like,
Bruh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it right now, and I don't care.
Let it rip.
I don't
Let it
care.
rip.
I
Let
don't
it
care.
rip.
I was
Let it
told
rip.
a couple of years ago we had Christmas at my house, and there was some big Gilbert. You went there. There was like long stairs, big stairs, right? One of my cousin's kids was going up the stairs, and I said, "Hey, no, don't do that." She comes by. No, we don't say no to them. I'm like, "What do you mean you don't say no?" No, we say, think about the consequences. I'm like,
Think about this.
exactly.
Yeah, no
I'm like, you should grab your belt and whoop that ass. Well, no, I don't. Okay, I'm not full Adrian Peterson, allegedly.
Careful.
But I'm
Careful.
like, at least scare them with the damn thing. Like, come on, get out of here. So I just this generation, I don't know. If you're talking about athlete, I'm cool with that. But this generation is just they think that
Jade is probably way better than China. Probably.
Rhea Ripley and Jade
no
look so
vitamins.
much better than China.
Yeah. But
Jade,
going back to what
Cardinal.
you're saying,
Yeah.
I don't blame some of these athletes who are pissed off. Poor freaking Charles Barkley still has to work for TNT to make some money and everything else. They weren't getting paid what these fools are. And the thing that pisses me off, I hate Steph Curry. I hate LeBron. I hate KD. I hate all these fools because in my mind, they made the NBA worse. I don't even watch it now. I can't do it. And I would be pissed too. But back then, what was a good night? Scoring 20 points, 15 to 30 points maybe because they actually play defense. Here they're scoring 40 and 50 like it's nothing because you can't foul you can't play defense because then it's a foul. Same thing with the NFL. Are you kidding? Joe Montana, John Elway, half of these. Dan Marino would throw for 10,000 yards with half of these rules. It's ridiculous, dude. I don't blame him, honestly. I'd be just as bitter, just as pissed. This is ridiculous, dude. It's a mockery of the
Not
game.
surprised from that.
But it's the same. I mean, each generation is gonna be like
Yeah.
that. Like it just like
It happens, but I understand it. When I'm more with them. The newer generation to me, it's unbelievable what you see. Honestly, half the time out of this,
look what they think movies are good. They think these movies are all good. Dan, you had good movies.
No, it's all ass. The last good movie I saw,
Napoleon.
Top Gun.
No, Napoleon was. Well, actually, no. I saw Late Night with the Devil. That one was actually pretty good because it was not Hollywood. It was IFC. It was more independent. That was way better than any other crap. I saw Lightyear. I turned it off after 20 minutes. I was like, this is ass. I don't want to see any of this.
Bohemian Grove. That's why.
Careful over there.
That's what we're gonna. Next time we have Ryan Garcia on, we should just talk about all that stuff.
Oh,
Dude, I would die. You should honestly.
No, hell
just open the book.
Oh no.
yeah.
Like, tell me about the owls. Tell me about the owls,
They're
Ryan.
gonna come to your house too, knocking. By the way,
Who him?
Come to whose house?
to your house. You're the one doing the interviews. You put
Let
this
me
on the-
tell you what's
No,
under my
no,
bed when I
Don't
go to
give
sleep.
any of that away.
Let's move on before we disappear in the middle of the night.
No, I don't have anything this week. I don't. There's nothing that I can. Oh
Don't worry.
no, I could. Well, no, I shouldn't. Some of the
What?
questions that were asked and some of the things that I've seen in the last 2 days when it comes to journalism make me think that journalism is at a point where it's a joke now, and anybody can be a journalist, and that's very disappointing. And for like
I
people
realized
like
that a
Gilbert,
couple years ago.
well, yeah, no, I did too, but I didn't want to believe it until what I saw earlier this week. Well, actually yesterday, and then obviously over the weekend. But I
don't know. I think when it comes to that, Frown, I think more than anything, it just tells you how soft these people are, that they want to put in people who are just like, hey, first off, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Did you have fun while you were out there wrestling?
I wasn't
You know what
gonna
I'm saying?
pull out
Yeah.
any.
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm saying?
talking-
And then like the whole cheering in the background, I'm like, you're right.
But that's
Mimsy, you haven't been here all day, and you're out here.
Mimsy
This is her favorite part.
Mimsy is asking for violence, dude. She wants you to pick violence. But
She
that's what I'm
puts
saying,
all
Frown.
people out by name, Fernando.
I think it's just these organizations
names.
are just getting soft and they want easy layups. And it's like, dude, that's not how this works. Like, it's like we talked about with the All-In series. I know what happened Sunday and they lost. And the episode is taking me back to training camp. I'm not a dumbass. I know what's going on.
Well,
I
I'm
know-
not
I
even
know what
talking
this
about
is.
that. I'm just talking
No,
about the other.
It's an
aspect of
example.
it.
It's
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah, yeah.
example. It's an example. That's
But
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
talking about the other aspect of some of the things. It's just like,
Yeah.
like any literally any dipshit with followers like and ends up being able to do stuff. So I
Hey,
just,
the worst part is it's not about being right. It's about being first, and they never apologize. That's the biggest problem.
Gilbert, we should just disappear and go into the night.
With Ryan Garcia's people or what?
Well, no, I didn't say
I
that.
was gonna
kind
say-
of night.
I was gonna
I
say,
didn't-
you're talking about weirdo time. What type of weirdo shit are you up to up
You
there?
guys
in the
brought
top
him up.
right
You
corner?
brought up the whole thing, the owls and
We
crap.
changed the conversations, but
Okay.
that's the only thing I have to. That's the only thing I have to say. That I am just distraught by where
Shout out,
we
Mimsy.
are headed with this. But Dan, do you have anything? Or
Yeah,
do
of
you
course
wanna
I
move on?
have something. Here's the thing that bothered me. You know, first off, I was about to get all excited because The Rock says he's going away. Then he comes back and says he wants to like come after Cody's title and all this. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is just getting out of hand.
All right.
Go away, disappear, dude. Well, not disappear. T's and P's. I hope he's well. I don't
would
want
agree
anything to
with
happen.
you.
to him.
It's gonna be a little too much if he does come back WrestleMania or
He shouldn't have a title run, dude. No.
Like
You want to give a legend a title run? Give it to Cena so he can break it. Then we'll move on with their lives.
maybe he wins the belt and then have Cena and him for the old man.
No.
title.
No, you know what? You know what?
No.
It's-
I was
it's-
pissed off he lost the first time, and then we got once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime.
I do want to
That's
see. I do
ridiculous.
want to see Cena break it, though. I do want to see that. Like, I think John Cena deserves that, especially because I know what's coming. I know Charlotte Flair is coming, and I don't want her to break that. So I think that's way.
Don't
too
even get me
prestigious.
started. Don't even get me started on her. You want to talk about the face of the franchise for nepotism? That is her right there. It's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable.
Mimsy, what do you want Dan to elaborate on?
Was it The Rock? Because I could talk about The Rock for days.
No,
dude.
we're
I'm
good
a
on
big
that.
fan.
While she messages back, anybody watch anything good? I haven't watched anything. Oh, well, I did find out that Roku has a Price is Right with Bob Barker channel, and it just
Oh
reruns of
my
all his.
God. Oh my
Oh
god.
god.
On Charlotte Flair, dude.
That should be your 10 minutes next week on Charlotte.
Oh, man.
I could
Every
talk
week
more.
he'd have a 10 minutes and he'd do that.
Just talk
By the,
about
by the
some
way,
movies.
speaking of that channel, Fernando, we have like a Samsung, and yes, they have like a Samsung TV, and there's like 24/7 channels for everything.
Yeah.
There's a Fear Factor channel.
Oh,
for
I was watching that
24/7.
at the Airbnb.
Okay,
for a
that's
little
what they
bit.
probably have Samsung, and every time I turn on TV, I have it on that channel, and I get
With
stuck
Joe
watching-
Rogan?
yeah, I get stuck watching
Dr.
20
Joe
minutes ago,
Rogan?
yeah,
It's
like,
so
crap.
good.
Yeah, but
Like that
you,
show.
you
was
reminded me
good.
of that it's 24/7 crap. That other show, the one with 21 Jump Street, but the original with Johnny Depp,
Oh
yeah.
on 24/7 loop too. So
Yeah.
I saw Power Rangers also. I watched like 2 episodes.
God.
I was like, damn, like this is actually really. And then I saw like a Nickelodeon one and it had rocket power.
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa,
damn,
whoa.
like
Nickelodeon? Are you okay?
boy, it's not a Disney Channel.
Oh, are you
No, no, no.
okay?
Oh,
Am I the
Joe
only one
probably
who's seen the
doesn't-
dog?
You don't know
Well-
about the documentary?
Oh, okay.
Am
No,
I
I
the only
don't-
one who's seen the
I thought it was
dog?
like a Disney Channel.
You know what's
No,
funny?
no.
You know what's funny? Seriously.
No,
going
no,
back to
no.
it.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to talk
Oh.
about that. I'm going to talk about. I started watching the Amanda Show with my sister recently after we saw the doc, and you almost see it in like a different light now as an adult, where you're like, "Oof, that's kind of a weirdo thing."
Well, talking about like
That
seeing
was
something in a
totally
different light,
cool.
like I remember watching The Sixth Sense, like what 20 years ago, whenever it came out, and like not really picking up on things, and then it was on TVs, and Megan was watching it, and like just rewatching that again, like it makes sense, and like knowing what happens at the end. Spoiler alert! Like you can see like how good that movie is, so that's really that's something really cool to kind of see when you go back. I'm like, we were also talking about Friends, and she was asking me today when we went out to lunch, she's like, oh, wasn't it like on while wasn't it like big when you were in like going in your 20s? I was like, no, I was like, actually it was at the end of high school and then at the beginning of college, so I didn't get it until later on when I was in my late 20s that I understood like some of the stuff that they were talking about on the show and why it became so popular.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Mimsy put the Roku channel is awesome, especially with the nostalgia. I completely agree with that.
I love
Yeah,
nostalgia.
I actually was liking it. And I'm like, damn, should I just get rid of cable and get the Roku?
Oh.
So
Speaking of which, 2 things real quick. Speaking of nostalgia, shout out Mimsy. Shout out for watching. Nostalgia.
shout out to Jesse as well.
Shout out to Jesse. Popcorn. I love popcorn.
I
Popcorn.
wanna know.
Popcorn. But every time I take a flight now, for whatever reason, I love just downloading old original Disney movies, and I just watch them on the flight. Like I saw Sword in the Stone, I saw The Great Mouse Detective, and I saw Fox and the Hound. All great films. They still hold today. This is why, again, here comes the old man. I'm coming out. This
Hey,
new generation in their films, they suck.
The Last Jedi,
Absolutely.
you watched that one too?
No, I didn't watch that garbage.
No Bible Goes West.
Come on, man. Those are the
No,
best ones.
And I was going to tell you, a good film I did see actually.
By the way, Vic, I watched that I tried watching that like
I
a
guess
couple of months
fuck
ago.
whatever I was saying, guy.
I wanna share something, but you're still talking too.
Sorry,
man.
brother. Sorry for cursing.
So, okay.
Really trying to work on that.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I saw Ready Player One. Didn't know it was a book. Saw the movie. Movie was pretty good. I liked it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
I give
Okay,
it.
Vic, I tried to watch 50 Goes West, and it didn't hit the way it did when I was.
Yeah,
a kid.
see, there you go.
It's
Such a
Bible
weirdo
Goes
movie.
West.
Like it's a
No,
weird
you haven't
movie.
seen it.
You
You need to watch that.
And it's the
What is
little
it called?
the little rats that cats. They're cats.
What is it
No,
called?
they're
like, can't
Whatever.
figure it out.
Bible Goes West.
50 Goes West.
Fivel?
yes.
That's Dan all the time, Mimsy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
They
Dan,
cut me off.
on
They
my flight-
always cut me off.
You're cutting me off, Dan. On the flight home, I downloaded freaking Napoleon. I didn't want to mess up again on Spirit, so I watched
you watch it?
Napoleon. I did, and I get where your review came about, like the whole drama with the wife. That was a little too much, but
Dude, so this is the funniest part. If there's kids in the room, just take them out for a second. When we were watching the film, I was watching with my buddy who's a big history buff, and his favorite like historical figure, one of them is Napoleon. So when all that stuff started happening, I turn over to him and I look at him and I'm like, "Your boy's a cock." I was like, "Your boy's a cock." I was like, "He's a simp. He's a simp.
It was okay.
By the way, just real quick, and this is real. Did you guys see this?
Breaking
And
news. Did you get
two
it in
more
the earpiece?
things, two more things, and then we're done.
All right.
Are
The
you
Warriors
sure? It's
clinched
6
a
o'clock.
top 10 seed in the Western Conference.
I'm glad they posted
And then
about
they
it.
put
Christ.
graphics for the 10th seed. It's been it's
my
never
God.
been more
This
over.
is actually pretty fitting for this show.
This is
I
so
I
stupid.
hate it when they went to the 7-10 format. Who gives
Oh,
a
yeah.
crap? They're not gonna win
Yeah.
crap.
7,
it was
10,
terrible.
that's your problem.
Whatever, 7,
The
8, 9,
in-season
10.
tournament,
It's
guy.
like a loser tournament. Oh, that's even worse. That's
Yeah.
what NBA is.
Did you hear-
What are
Did you
you
see all the
talking
memes?
about? The Lakers went in as
Oh,
a
who
whatever.
cares?
I don't
and
give
they-
a shit about 7, 8, 9,
Who
10.
cares
Earn your
about-
spot as a 1 through 8, and it's okay. It's
Here we
okay.
go. Basketball, garbage. Baseball, worse. Golf puts me to sleep. I'd rather watch paint dry.
Talking about that. Make sure
take
you
away-
check out the newsletter.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
away,
We'll-
take
we'll
away.
bash all
Yeah, we'll plug it right now. Take away nostalgia on what I'm about to show you guys, but which one has the best logo when it comes to sneakers? Like, take away what we know about each of these or whatever, but who do you think has the best shoe logo?
Get that LeBron thing out of there.
Oh, the Wembyamo is a new one.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
that one's
I
cool. That looks really nice.
I kind
a
of
little
like
too much for me.
I kind of like the Derrick Rose one. The Shaq one's kind of cool too. Because
The-
that's
the
the
Sha-
cool one where he teabags a player right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What the hell is the Anthony Edwards one? It's like a fucking
I have
sorry,
no
like
idea.
it's like a what's it called? Like when they catch a bear or something? The,
Dude,
Bear
we should,
Claw.
yeah,
Bear
bear
Claw.
claw.
we should do a drinking game. Every time we can get Alberto to say the F word accidentally.
When you have an hour and 45 minutes, I'm gonna bound to slip up, man.
I think the Kobe one's
Imsy
cool.
agrees with you, Gilbert. She says, "Preach, Gilberto. Get rid of the."
Thank
It's
you.
stupid.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
It's stupid.
I
Might
love
as well
the
have
Kobe-
our
Kobe
team
one
in
to-
it. Jeez,
The Kobe
everybody
one
in.
to me is like, I love that just because it's like the
Yes,
Mamba
Kobe.
and that's like the face of a snake.
But it took me a while to grow
That's
into
not
that
the
one.
face of a
Yeah.
snake. I don't see it, but all right. But the Derek one I like, and the Shaq one I like.
All right, Jesse, it is a PG show. My bad.
PG.
oh no, well, look what he put, Dan.
Oh yeah, PG brother. Yeah, exactly. Or is he talking about Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre said PG brother after CM Punk said
By the
something.
way,
so
CM Punk cost him last night the
That's
the
gonna be a
chance at
good
the World
rivalry, I
Heavyweight
think.
Championship.
that's gonna be a
again.
damn good
Oh
rivalry.
my god, that's gonna hit differently at SummerSlam. That
Let
him
out of
cook.
here.
Let him
Now
cook,
47.
baby.
Gilbert,
cook.
speaking of cook, why don't you cook on the newsletter? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for watching an hour and 47 minutes of the show. But if you haven't done so just yet, go to compasonthebeat.com. On the home screen, you're going to see a shiny gold box boop appear, and then put in your email to subscribe to the Compas on the Beat newsletter. We have some great reviews from Dad and Daygo on there. Last week, he took over the avocado roast for TV shows and movie recommendations. So check out the newsletter. So subscribe on compasonthebeat.com. Check out the blog too, compasonthebeat.com/blog. You see a bunch of work from the four people here. Victor's been breaking down a lot of baseball lately, but just subscribe to the newsletter and do us a favor. Be a compa, tell a compa to subscribe to the newsletter. We've been doing it every Thursday morning, so you stay locked in. Everything going on with the program, the network here. I think on that one, Mimsy, CM Punk. She says CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Fire emojis. I will go CM Punk, and I'm not a big fan of Drew McIntyre. His character needs something a little more for me.
Whoa,
but,
whoa, 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 whoa,
Sorry.
whoa,
Sorry.
whoa. His
Gilbert
character
doesn't
just
like that he wears
changed.
a kilt.
No, he's just
Oh,
kind of
you were
boring
gonna
to
say
me.
his
Like he's
skirt.
just,
How
I
dare
don't know,
you?
he's-
No idea.
What are you talking about? He just went heel.
Like at least CM Punk has some kind of persona, whatever.
The heel.
When
He's
Damian
heel
Priest took
now.
that belt, I was like, hell yeah. Anyways,
Dude,
okay.
Are you?
Go to the
well,
Compas on the Beat
you're right.
talk.
That'll be another
Subscribe
20
to
minutes.
the.
You're
I
right.
know.
My bad. My bad.
We could talk more WWE for the next show, but
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll write it down somewhere. Drew
Mimsy,
versus
I don't know if
Rock
you're
on the
CM
mic.
Punk or Drew McIntyre, but for this one,
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
going
write
with
it
CM
down.
Punk.
Don't worry, I'll write it down.
But yeah, we'll do
I'm
more
just here for the
WWE.
promos.
We'll do more boxing. We'll do more MMA. Check out all
Thursday.
our. Yes, Thursday. Adam Hill is going to come on Compas on the Beat live. Also,
Shout out.
if you're watching on Combat Compas, we don't do too much there, but we'll be linked together. UFC 300 preview, and then I will be in Las Vegas tomorrow. I got to wake up early, drive up. UFC Media 300 Day. There you go. UFC 300 Media Day, and then Saturday, the big three: Fernando, Gilberto, and Adam will get together in Las Vegas to do coverage for UFC 300.
I'm excited because Dana White actually hooks it up when it comes to food. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely oh wow. Mimsy wants more WWE content. Yeah, we'll Mimsy, we Gilbert and I were kind of
Thursday.
talking about this out in Philly, and we might be doing maybe once a week. Try and
Hey,
do like
people watched our Tank Davis and Pitbull Cruz
Oh,
Roller
yeah.
Romero video. Like that was pretty cool. So we have boxing fans here because
yeah, right. They shitted on us.
it was half. Like
I
obviously
know, I
the
know,
Mexicans
I
were
know.
like, yeah, Tank is ducking Pitbull.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up. I just want to ask Gilberto a quick question. Is it true? Has it been confirmed in my earpiece? You bought an Acknowledge Me shirt while in Philly?
I did,
The
but
curse is alive.
no,
The curse lives.
I picked Cody Rhodes to win.
If you
I-
pick two people in one match, you're gonna be
No.
right.
Well,
What are
let
you
me
talking
finish.
about?
I picked Cody Rhodes to win, and he won. And also, I gave the shirt to Caroline because she's a fan of Roman Reigns.
The
That's why I
curse
bought it.
lives.
That's why I
The
bought it.
curse lives.
when-
Caroline knows.
Yeah, so well, she finds them attractive, which makes me feel ugly, but whatever. But anytime I go on the road, I gotta give her like a souvenir. So that one said Philly acknowledge me. So combine her love for Roman and like tourism with Philly into one
The
shirt.
curse lives.
Gilbert, brother.
Yeah.
Let me.
I can't
Let
compete. I know that. Like I'm sure Hall
Oh,
Pass will be Roman
Mimsy
Reigns.
is now on
There you
board with
go.
Janet
There
Daygo.
you go.
I picked Cody Rhodes. Like tell BJ Cruz on the show.
I'm gonna write the bloodline a letter into the wise man
Fernando
himself.
said the story's going to continue with Roman Reigns on the bloodline.
I'm gonna
right?
tell him who's at
I'm not a
fault for
curse.
the reason why the historic reign of 1,300 and I think it was 16 days or so.
It was funny though.
It's
I'm like,
ended.
the second I buy the shirt, the reign's over. Yeah. But I picked Cody. All right, I picked Cody.
You pick
Mimsy,
two people in a match, you'll be right. I can't
Mimsy,
say-
we'll do something next week, or maybe no, actually, we'll do a preview before the Backlash Lyon pay-per-view.
Where is it?
in a
Where
couple
is it?
weeks. Lyon.
Oh, where's that?
Yeah.
Leon, Mexico.
This guy.
Era Leon.
We'll do a preview to that pay-per-view. Right now, it's going to be a little bit of a weird time in WWE.
What the hell? is coming out of
Because
those-
it's a new,
Is that toilet paper coming out?
no, it's a new vest. So
He's trying
it's
his magician. He's trying to be a magician.
yeah, exactly.
A
Look
freaking
what I pulled out
rabbit
of here.
It's that kid.
But
PG brother.
Yeah,
man,
clean.
yeah, exactly. Mimsy,
Yeah.
we'll start doing more previews before pay-per-views. And we'll be doing a lot more. Right now, like I said, it's gonna be the boring time because Roman, Seth, The Rock, Becky Lynch, they're gonna be off of TV for a little bit. So it's gonna be interesting to see the way WWE does whatever they do right now. But yeah, we'll do something coming up. But again, thank you guys so much for jumping on and watching Compas on the Beat. We truly appreciate everybody who watches. We truly appreciate everybody who comments. We like to have fun with this, so make sure you guys tune in. We appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out every Weirdo Time. Yes, it is.
Weirdo
Don't
time.
forget to check out everything. Oh, wow. It's Weirdo Time in the WWE and in the NFL because there's going to be a little
They
bit
have
of
no
a-
off season.
We could always watch.
Friday-
We could watch baseball and we'll be fine.
Are you
Sorry.
pooping me?
Friday-
I'm not watching that.
Friday's going to be Friday will be interesting with SmackDown, but then after that, it'll be a little bit of a lull. But make sure you guys tune into everything on Compas on the Beat Network. Hey, don't forget to check out all the interviews that we did at Media Day for WWE. Make sure you guys check those out. Make sure
Is it just me or is there Fernando freezing over here? And the
We're all-
brother. Hey, better Wi-Fi to the
Yeah.
nearest household. I will do the promos, Victor, because
Yes,
Fernando
please.
does pros here. Check out all the content on the Compas on the Beat YouTube. Hey, damn.
Am I frozen?
Yeah. I think were you pretending right now?
He
That's
just
pretty-
comes out like,
That's pretty good. So I was
Yeah.
blaming your house there for the bad Wi-Fi. But
okay,
yeah,
I'm back.
what the hell? Were you faking
don't
it too? I can't tell. That's what she said.
Thinking what? No, hell no.
I'm over here freaking out as a producer. I'm like, what is
Okay,
going
yeah, he
on?
messed up. Check out the Kevin Owens interview with Fernando and myself on the camera because that was one of my favorite interviews. When LA Knight, and AJ Styles got into a brawl, we kind of had the behind the scenes and the reaction. Io Sky and Dakota Kai, that kind of rhymes, right? Got a reaction from those two wrestlers too as well. So check that out. We got an interview with Jay Cargill, the new superstar for WWE. We got an interview with the new champion, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor was awesome to talk to. He got really into the interview. I like that. Obviously, Kevin Owens, like I mentioned, and Carmelo Hayes. I think that's it. Fernando, no, you're back. Okay, but check out the content. Again, Wednesday, locked into YouTube channel for Compas because I'm going to be at UFC 300 Media Day. Thursday, Adam. I'm doing promos all over again. So,
we lost. What's
all
going
right,
on here?
let's just get out of here, Victor.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for being on the show. But on that note, ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.